Gotta say it like cars.
It's too late. I'm tired. No, the way that car says it, he says with his entire being. That man said like he was like he was amped for the race. Like he didn't care what happened. He was gonna cheat and get the AJ no matter what. So I don't know why he did all that. He was too enthusiastic. That was funny. But let me tweet this out. And then let the Discord know. Actually, I think my bot does it automatically. But you know what? My bot's so inconsistent. It'll post sometimes and then it just won't. So I'm like, what do I do with
that? Present day. Present time.
I do have a question that I'm gonna open with that I think you guys will find interesting. So I'm gonna open with this question and then after.
Okay.
On YouTube or Twitch?
I'm on Twitch right
now.
Okay, so that's what that echo was just now.
Yeah.
Like Jack and Jill, baby nearly lost her crown. I just wanna stack this money, baby, can you count it out? Yeah, this bitch tastes just like honey. Don't think that I'm hungry now. In that sun, just walking. Love to
Where are you?
Talking.
Me?
Yeah, I'm looking on Twitch. I don't see it.
I don't do this very often. She says thoughts inside my mind.
No, I see it.
Yeah, I see it too.
Okay, it just popped up. Trying to make me look like I'm stupid.
Nah, my phone be messing with me sometimes. Like sometimes I look at it and it'll be like, oh, it restarted. I'm like, wait, it did? Why? I actually have to I really have to put my like head in the sand at some point and just get all of this technical mumbo jumbo out the way. I don't know what I'll be doing. Like my latency and this and that. I mean, nigga, I don't know, man. Stream. Just press start stream. I don't know what I'm doing. I gotta stop. Did I tweet it?
Let me check for you.
I'm supposed to tweet it, right? I tweeted it out.
You did not.
What is your name? What do you desire?
Hate me?
I am Ray. Ray Hatada.
If you
my sister. I want to say
must.
I can't do it today, no. I lost my voice last night.
Or the Giants game?
Why you laugh at me, bitch? That wasn't funny. You lost by 1 fucking point.
Ah, shit. That shit funny, dog. I heard a sound effect. What's that sound effect?
That's a motherfucker.
I heard a Zelda sound effect. I don't know what that's for.
I hosted you.
Oh shit. I appreciate it. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
One day I'm gonna learn. I promise. I'm not always say that, but anywho, we are here. What's going on, people? Abdel, my guy. Golden Ace, we are here. What's happening? Yes, Big Sin is in the chat. What's going on? How y'all doing today, man? How's y'all day?
Well, my day yesterday was shit. So
My day was cool. I mean, I got a new couch today. It's mad comfortable. I mean,
Can't complain about
and
that.
streamed a little bit. I mean, so we chilling, bro. You feel me?
All right, I feel it. And just for anyone who isn't aware, I was laughing. You know why I was laughing at this? Because at some point I was supposed to get to the movies. I want to do this for the movies at some point too. I should be way further. I should be done with that, with the manga portion of this, because there's been enough breaks that we should be done this part. But here it is. What it is. It is what it is. But
When was the last time we did this? Like November last year, October.
2020 last year for Water 7, bro. Like, well, you know what it was too? Like, I feel like no one's gonna want to do Thriller Bark. They don't care about Thriller Bark like that, you know. So, but anyways, we here. So yeah, just for anyone who doesn't know, who's unaware, so ranking the One Piece series is basically what I do is I'm supposed to do is every week that One Piece has a break, I'm supposed to basically take a saga. So the East Blue Saga, we go through each arc. So you know from Logtown to blah blah blah, Orange Village, Orange Syrup Village, Orange Town, yada yada. Thank you for the follow. We're supposed to go through all the arcs. We basically talk about it. We give each arc a rating. I take the average of everyone's number. So if everyone give it a 7, obviously it's a 7, and then we do it for pretty much each arc. And then we give the saga an overall rating. And then what I want to do at the very end is based on what we've done. I want to give One Piece an overall a number based on all the streams we did. So that is exactly what's going on. They say why are you always leading the VOD? So God, I'll ask you. But all right. Actually, the first thing I want to ask you guys before I even get into anything specific is it's kind of unrelated to the art currently. Who just hopped in? Who's that? Who did it?
It was Alan.
Oh, there we
He's
go.
here.
Mr. Petrie. Okay, we are
What's
here.
up, y'all?
What's going on, sir?
Just chilling, man. How y'all doing?
I'm alright. I can't complain, you know. Oh, you say copyright. There you go. You got your answer. Okay, so what I want to ask you guys is this: when you initially heard that Kaido and Gekko Moria were rivals at some point, based on the story that you'd originally heard, I don't necessarily remember if we heard this in Thriller Bark at first. I just want to know this just as an aside because I always find this conversation interesting. How did you guys take that initially when we first heard it, and how do you feel about that now, having seen obviously the full display of Kaido and well, not full display, but a display of Kaido and what Gekko Moria can do? Is it cap? Like, what do you guys think?
And so now, what did they exactly say, like verbatim, about the relationship? Because I don't remember.
They basically had said that they were rivals, but when
Uh,
when they had met, Kaido is actually the one who destroyed his entire crew, which is why he said "fuck it, zombies." He ran back
oh
to
yeah, yeah,
paradise
okay,
and said zombies are
right.
the way. So
I think them being rivals for me was surprising. I didn't expect Gekko Moria out of everyone. You know what I mean? Like that was kind of shocking for me. However, Kaido destroying his crew made sense to me power wise at the time. Like I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like it is Kaido, even though it was a younger Kaido, it's still Kaido. Like so the power difference didn't really like bother me. Like it kind of made sense to me. Cause Gekko Moria, like I'm not saying Gekko Moria is super weak or anything, but he never came off super threatening as far as the other warlords. You know what I mean? Like when you look at other ones, you look at Mihawk, Dolphy, Boa, like people like that. It's kind of like then you look at Gekko Moria. It's just like, and that might have just been because Luffy, you know, with the help of the shadows and stuff, they defeated Gekko Moria early on. So it might have just been one of those situations where it's like, oh, he lost early, so you know what I mean. So I might be a little biased there, but um,
I
I
don't
think
remember.
I think for me, just to finish my thought, I think for me the most shocking thing was that it was Gekko Moria. Like I just didn't expect that to be Kaido's rival. You know what I mean? Like so
okay,
that's just my thought on it.
okay. What did you say? What did you say, Alan? What didn't you remember?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I think that one of the reasons why Gekko Moria doesn't come off as like as threatening is also because I don't remember like if it was before he fought Kaido or afterwards, but he also just got real lazy and just stopped just stopped doing anything. So that's why by the time
Yeah,
Luffy
Jinbei
comes
mentioned
around,
that I think in Marineford, right?
Hmm.
yeah, like he just stopped trying as hard also. So that's why by the time Luffy comes around, he's not the same. He's not on the same level as he once was, along with him losing to Kaido.
Okay.
What do you think about that comment Jinbei made? Do you think that it was the defeat for Gekko Moria was just kind of like a demoralizing thing? Like, do you think Kaido like
I
not
think
only defeated him physically, but kind of like the defeat was like a mentally taxing on him to the point where it's just like he kind
yes,
of
I
was
think
just
it was.
yes.
They said he killed his whole crew. and that's why he started going with the zombies too.
Mm.
I would argue if your spirit isn't crushed, you wouldn't run back to paradise. It's the same reason why I
Yeah.
say a lot of people, as raw as Crocodile is, Crocodile's a self actualized loser. He understands that he's a silver medalist and he ran back to paradise to try to find some scheme and machination on Alabasta with Pluton and a nation where it doesn't rain. It's a desert nation, doesn't rain, to amass a certain amount of power. I think running back to paradise is a huge sign indication that you're kind of like you're not built for this. And now you need some weird
Yeah.
scheme like I need zombies to become Pirate King. He did still want to become Pirate King though, so I guess I'll give him that. What do you think, Pat?
I feel like it was like Sin said earlier, like it's kind of one of those things where Luffy defeats somebody early, so they think he's weak. But when you look back on it, like you have to take into account it was like a lot of circumstances. Like it was all the shadows that he took in, and even then, he still didn't defeat him completely. And then on top of that, they had to fight him together as a crew to take him out,
Yeah.
even after the whole Nightmare Luffy thing.
Yeah.
But when Moria was chilling on Thriller Park and Luffy showed up, he's resting with his head in between his hands, talking about some this little ass nigga from the East Blue rookie 300 million bounty. And like, this shit don't bother me.
Head ass. He's just in there.
Yo, it's the same thing with Ors too, bro. These zombie Ors is kind of built different too. If you look at what it took to beat him, like,
Mm-hmm.
and they barely still beat him. You feel me? Like, but they go Ors really out here too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Oris was a problem, and he's huge. Like he's big, huge.
Yeah.
So kind of the reason why I asked you guys that was because you see, for me, when people talk about One Piece, when it comes to rivalries, right? I don't always take it the literal face value that some people would. I think I would surmise that most people haven't heard that Kaido and Gekko Moria were rivals. I think they thought that they probably were constantly fighting one another. I would argue that they were probably on the rise at the same time. So anytime Kaido did something crazy, Moria somewhere else in the Grand Line probably did something equally as crazy or just a little bit less crazy. So they're being so in the media they're competing, which is why they're being strung together as rivals. I don't actually think they had a rivalry to that degree, because when they fought on Wano, what happened to Thing's crew? Wiped out. You feel me? So it's the same way I feel about Kid in a lot of ways. Yeah, I think Kid and Luffy are rivals, but not in the sense where it's like Luffy and Kid are constantly being pit against each other. It's the fact that they're both part of the worst generation, or supernovas, if you will, and that they're both doing crazy stuff in the newspaper, that they keep doing. Oh, Luffy did this at Enies Lobby. Well, he just destroyed all this civilian property. Oh, are they competing? It's like that. That's how I took it. Now in the grand scheme, having seen Kaido, it's like, yeah, no, this was not a rivalry, bro.
Yeah, I always look at Kid and Luffy's thing as more of like it's kind of like they have just a common goal, and on top of that, it's like their paths cross often, especially now in this big arc. So I kind of think it might be one of those situations where it's like he doesn't rival Kaido in strength, but it was like a rivalry in the sense of, like you said, they were just always going head to head at each other type thing. Like,
yeah, that's how I always took it. That's why I want to ask the question. But okay, let's actually talk about Thriller Bark. Thriller Bark is the Thriller Bark saga. Always makes me laugh because it's the only saga with literally one arc. It's not even that long. You would think maybe like a Dressrosa kind of makes more sense because it's so long and stuff like that. But anyways, I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Allen. I want you to just start us somewhere. We can mention a character, a fight, something you did or didn't like about the arc, whatever. Start us somewhere, and we'll go from there. What you got?
All right. So before I do start, I want to tell you. So the reason why I had to go ahead and reread through Bark is because I think I told y'all before, but this is like only my third time actually going through this arc. Mm-hmm. Because my first time going through One Piece, my cousin told me to skip Water 7, and Thriller Bark told me that they didn't matter.
Water 7?
No, not Water 7. I'm sorry, not Water 7. Skypiea.
Yeah, that's still blasphemous.
That's still blasphemous for real.
But okay, that I've heard before.
At least I've heard niggas say that though.
What you said? Water
I've never,
seven. I almost
Skypiea
lost
is
it. I
one of
said,
my
I've
favorite
"There's no
never
arcs.
heard a
way."
nigga say
And
skip water 7. I've never heard that. God damn. I ain't gonna lie, that
yeah,
scared me
but
when he
no,
said
yeah,
that.
he told me to, yeah, so he told me to skip Skypiea and Thriller Bark, and like, so I did because I thought they didn't matter. So I had to go back a few times and actually reread those arcs. So this Thriller Bark, especially, it wasn't too fresh in my mind. So that's why I went back and read it. But that aside, my favorite parts of the arc, I'd say, are I really like when Chopper gets mad at like fake doctors when
Okay.
he brings
Oh
out the
yeah,
like
that was hard.
and like so his anger towards Doctor Hogback, you know, just messing with
Fuss,
people's
fuss,
lives.
fuss, 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 fuss.
And then the other thing is just Brooks' promise to Laboon and just his conviction to try to keep that promise alive and finish it.
Actually, on that, how did you guys initially feel about Brooke when he was introduced? Like,
Oh,
I will openly admit that Brooke had to grow on me. I didn't like him. I can't say that. I didn't dislike the character Brooke. I didn't care for him as a Straw Hat. Does that make sense? Initially, he
yeah, that
grew
makes
on me
sense.
over time. He
Yeah.
grew on me over time. Because to me, I was like, I thought about it this way. I'm like, we have a better swordsman. We got Zorro, right? So we don't need you. At the time, he couldn't swim for no reason. We knew he couldn't die, but he couldn't use his ability in any other way, in any other significant manner. So that bothered me. And I'm like, okay, you a magician, fair enough, and you're a good one at that. But Frankie be out here, you know what I'm saying, playing music. I don't know. He could get a soundboard, nigga, a robot. You can make some shit, some synth shit. Like I won't lie to you. That's what I was thinking. Like I don't like this guy like that. It's what? How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about him initially though, bro?
I'll go first. So I'll say this: of like the latter Straw Hats that joined after East Blue, I actually liked Brooke immediately, like as soon as we saw him,
So
because
You said, do you poop?
Asking the
the
real
way it
question.
was, the setup to the introduction was just so funny to me because they saw the ship and then they tried to go on the ship and met with Luffy. Luffy like, why you guys coming with me? I can do this by myself. And Sanji like, because you're stupid. So we have to go. We have to make sure you don't do nothing dumb. He goes over there. You see Brooke. I'm like, bro, is that a talking skeleton? And he walk and everything. And Luffy talk about some. You're interesting. Join
Join
my
my
crew.
crew.
And Brooke like, yeah. And I'm like, wait, what? They take the ship. Zoro like, why we even send you to if you gonna bring back something like this? You sit, he eating, he burp, and then he fart and say, "Excuse me, I was dying." And it was just too funny, bro. I was like, "Nah, he has to join."
Oh man, that's funny. The skull jokes thing, I was laughing though. As I said, I didn't dislike him. I just didn't want him as a as a straw hat at the time. But what's your guys' opinion on Carrot? What do you guys think about Carrot? Just real quick.
Eric,
Nah. Send her ass back to
What
fucking.
did
talking
Paris
about,
Sparrow say? That's how I
talking about
feel.
you talking about Parrot the rabbit, nigga?
Paris,
Yeah,
yeah.
Nigga, fuck Carrot, nigga. What?
What did
Oh,
Paris
bro.
Sparrow say? Go eat some grass? Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like, come on,
That's
bro.
how I feel.
There are so many better minks than Carrot. Like, what are we talking about?
son, she gotta go back to Zoe, man.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
tired of it.
Especially now. Like at one point I was kind of okay with it, but now I'm like, nah, I don't need that. But yeah, Sid, how do you feel about Brooke initially?
Brooke, when I first Pete Brooke, I was like, yeah, funny nigga for real. And then like he was cool. Like, he was a funny nigga, you feel me? Like I was fucking with him. And then like we got the whole like his crew backstory, the Laboon shit. I was like, damn, man, I'm kind of fucking with this nigga a little bit more now. And then by the end
Mm-hmm.
of Thriller Bark, I was like, all right, he can join the crew for real. I'm fucking with him. Like, but it took me a little bit. I'm kind of with you, Naya, as far as the straw hat. It took me a little bit, but by the end of Thriller Bark, I was like, all right, I'm fucking with him.
Okay, okay. And Alan, I know this was you started us off, but I don't think I got your take on Brooke initially. How did you feel about it?
I liked him just because just Luffy immediately asking him to join the crew, him immediately saying yes. I liked him. I liked the jokes. I also like the
That shit
fact
was
that he was a
funny.
musician. That was one of the like a musician was one of the positions that Luffy wanted from the beginning.
Yeah,
So
it's
that,
the
that
first thing you
was
said you needed, I think, or a cook or a
Yeah,
musician, right?
I didn't even think he was serious about that, but now he was dead ass. He was like, "We need a musician." I'm like, bro, he's still on that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. No, I like Brooke. I like him.
Okay. How do you guys like him a lot more now though? Like for me, I would
Yeah.
say by the time I don't know what that is. I heard something, but thank you. Someone gifted. Okay, thank you for the gifts, the gifted sub. But what I was gonna say is like I would say by the time the time skip came around, it was that long. Time skip came around, he came back as the soul came. I'm fine with him. He's cool. I'll just I was just over it. And there was no real reason. I was like, nah, he's fine, man. Shout out to Brook. Soul King out, man.
Whole Cake Island.
Just grew
Whole
on
Cake
me.
Island made me like him like a lot more.
Yes. Well, whole cake, he's kind of my MVP. I'm like, I mean, end of the
Yeah,
day,
that,
what's the assignment to get the One Piece? What do you need for that? The rubbings of the.
the Tony
Poneglyphs.
Okay, what did he get?
The
That
rubbings
nigga
of the
dumped a 30
Poneglyphs.
point
Man,
triple double. I don't care what anyone tells me. He
that
said,
man Brooks said we came here to get Sanji back, but even if we don't get him back, we want to leave with something so he don't feel bad. I was like, oh yeah, this nigga talking.
yeah. And he called her a young lady. I said, yeah, yeah. Flex on her. She a boomer. I mean, you're a baby boomer. She Generation X. Let her know about herself. Okay, I'll go next. I'll start with something that I really enjoyed about the arc because I will say this: Thriller Bark is probably the arc that I would say that most people that I talk to generally, it's not even like this. It just they're like meh. I think it's a little underrated. I still think the arc that I have to defend the most is still the long arc, like the Dairy Back flight. I defend that arc. I put my cape on. I should be flowing in the wind when people hate on that arc. But this is another arc that I think a lot of people don't really like.
Aya, what's your least favorite arc in One Piece?
Dressrosa.
Dressrosa?
Yeah. I think it's the most disorganized arc, and I think it was inefficient and it ran too long.
Yeah,
Got you.
I was talking to him
I don't
about it.
think
That
I
it
don't
was
think I
long as
have.
shit.
Did you I don't know how you did you how did you consume Dressrosa? Did you weekly or did you binge?
Yeah, I've been caught up to One Piece for like 17 years.
That's why I was gonna say my opinion of Dressrosa is so different than yours, and I think it's because I didn't have to sit through it week by week. I just sped through it, so
Bro,
I didn't get really get the feel. But recently I went back and I've looked at Dressrosa again, like just to see like other people's opinions. Like I went back and like looked at it more in depth, and I definitely can see what you mean when you say it's disorganized. Like there's a lot of tomfoolery going on with the structure of that arc.
Yeah. Like
it's a lot of peaks, but it takes a while to get.
Yeah.
yeah,
It- it-
I think like I can explain it really. I've spoken about it ad nauseum, so I can explain it really well. Like I always say this, like I don't dislike any One Piece arc. So when I say it's my least favorite, it just means comparatively. I don't think it's bad necessarily. I still give it a 7. I just think it's my least favorite arc. But
yeah,
my
I feel the
problem,
same way.
yeah, my problem is that I truly think that it was disorganized in terms of I don't think he handled the ever expansive cast of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. I know in grand scheme it was important, but I don't think he handled them well. It was jumping all over the place, right? And like Pat said, I think it has incredible highs. Like bro, Sabo, Mera, all of that stuff was insane. Gear fourth, come on now, like don't play with me. Like that was all gas, but how did we get there? Was it seamless? I think it was really like a roller coaster, up and down. Like sure, I would get an incredible reveal, but how I got there was never really great. It kind of reminds me of what happens in the last season of Game of Thrones with Daenerys, right? No one's necessarily mad that she has that rage towards King's Landing, but did we build up that rage in that moment properly? Was it seamless? It wasn't. I'd argue. So that was my problem with Dressrosa, and the arc and the fight with Dofi and Luffy to me is not even that great. I really don't think it's that great. I think it's okay. It serves its purpose, but I think Frankie's fight with Senior Pink is the best fight in that arc.
Bro, I have a man. I know we're talking about Thriller Bar, but I have to say this, bro. Like I peeped the Luffy Dolphy Law fight again very recently. I was on stream. We were watching just anime fights. We just reacting to shit. I peeped it because someone recommended it, and I'm like, yo, this fight was like low key. Like it was okay, Naya, but like there was some ass stuff in this fight, bro. Like
Yeah,
the
Joey dropped the
if
ball on the
they
animations for the
dragged
fight.
this shit out, bro. Like the thing I hated the most, Naya, with this fight was once the Gamma Knife takes effect, Gear Fourth comes out, bro. After he does the one round of Gear Fourth, the way that they dragged up until the second round of Gear Fourth, like running Dolphy all around the fucking city and all the like people there keeping Luffy away. I hated that.
Luffy!
I hated that shit, bro.
That's when I kind of
Bro,
stopped watching. I won't lie to you.
Another thing too is just like just the finality of Dofi versus Luffy. You know the final clash that they have when Luffy uses his King Kong gun. You know in the manga it's literally just a split second. As soon as it connects, he breaks through Dofi's strings and smashes him into the ground. And in the anime they have them pushing back and forth for like a minute and a half or two. I'm like, bro, what the hell is this?
Like it's a power struggle, yeah. It's totally animation special.
sorry for getting off topic with that question, but yo,
No, I don't mind. It's okay.
god damn.
I don't mind. But yeah,
I asked because I was curious because I when you brought up the Foxy arc, most times when I ask people what their least favorite arc is, they say that arc.
I could. I mean, just like this. Let's just continue in the tangent while we're here. It's fine. The reason why I defend that arc so much is like I have a little bit of a problem with our community in the sense that if I ask any One Piece fan, why do you like One Piece? They'll tell me everything except the combat. But what the fuck do I get subjected to talking to all the time in any stream? High defloating. Okay, right? Okay, very well. It is what it is. So I'm like, for people who care about the power scaling so much, this arc is a very good indication of how One Piece combat works in a lot of cases. Look at it this way: Luffy beats two Logias back to back, right? Crocodile Warlord, Eneru, Gorgo no Mi, Invincible Fruit, blah blah blah. Obviously, he had the elemental advantage because he was rubber, but it is what it is. So, why is he struggling against Foxy? Like, I always say, like, One Piece combat is just a little more nuanced that people want to give it credit for. I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna go crazy and say it's some like JoJo fights. At some point after, like, really, I'll say Stardust Crusaders, the strategy starts to really go crazy. Not that Stardust Crusaders doesn't have its moments, but Starfinger, like, come on, stop it. But stop it. That should make me so mad every time I see, like, oh, like, I forgot he did this. Where do you like never? I think he used it like one more time. But anyways, he lost. He was struggling with Foxy because of Noro no Mi. Noro, it's not a bad fruit, by the way. Like no beam, like that shit raw, right? There's that. He's conniving. He's sneaky. Luffy's a bit naive. No, not naive. Gullible. I won't say he's naive because he understands the like concept of war and stuff and people about dying from where he came from. So he's not naive, and you know that with the talk with Vivi, but he's like an idiot. You know what I'm saying? So you could trick him and all that stuff. Plus he's cheating. Plus an ability. So and people always argue, but people's counter with me usually is like, yo, the stakes aren't high. I'm like, that's cap. Just because losing the Chopper, and if you watch the anime too, Nico Robin. Well, Robin's obviously important because of what she can do. She can read poneglyphs, so let's cut that out. But with Chopper, like, who cares if you lose Chopper? But I'm like, but what does Nakama mean to Luffy and his crew? That's extremely important to them, right? Is it not? If you think Luffy's not pissed if you lose Chopper? It's a big deal. If you lose a crew member, it's a big deal. Whether they die or get assimilated to another crew, it's a big deal. The stakes are just as high. But for the combat part, I'm just saying, the fact that he had a good ability, you're fighting on somebody's home turf, and it turns out you're fighting Foxy on his ship, and he's cheating and doing all this maniacal, all this stuff that works against Luffy because he's kind of dumb. That's why he struggled, and that lets you know that One Piece fights are not as straight up as they can be. Crocodile even mentioned that in Impel Down, you never know how two abilities are going to match up when the candle wax stops the poison before he goes, full Venom Demon mode and he's eroding everything. So I'm like, for you guys, for the meatheads, this arc is important. So cut it out. Plus it's funny, so it's raw. And Aokiji in there. Shout out to my goat. So he's not my goat. He's alright, but yeah. So I'm saying, like, it's a great arc. I don't care. To me, the stretch from Davy Back fight to post Enies lobbies is my favorite stretch of fiction. So that's just me though. For me, it's always been the adventure, shifting, changing world over combat. And shout out to Starfinger, the lighthearted arcs are bright and very fun. Yeah, you need that. You need to kind of come down sometimes. I think some of the best series always take a moment after a battle, a huge scale war, whatever, to just see the characters interact, do stuff, party, drink, whatever, do some regular shit, and then you ramp back up, you crescendo back into that climax. So, back to Thriller Bark. Back to Thriller Bark.
Thanks.
You're gone for a minute. What's up, young mama? But okay, I actually want to ask you guys this question. How did you guys feel about Gekko Moria? How do you feel about him as a character and as an antagonist, as an arc antagonist, and even as a Chichibukai? Like, go into all of that. Like, did you guys like him? Did you not like him? Underwhelming? How do you feel about it? Start with you, Pat. Go ahead.
Oh, good. Sorry.
Okay, so initially, the first thing that stood out was laugh because I was just like, "Why are you laughing like that?" Like this shit grew on me.
I'm like, bro, why you so like Go ahead.
Nah, you got the best laugh in One Piece. I love that shit.
Mine's just
But
Foxy. I won't lie to you.
the way, like I said earlier, like the way he was so unbothered when Luffy first came to Thriller Bark, and he talked about something. Oh, you're gonna beat my ass, and then he bring out his little his the bats, the brick bats,
Mm-hmm.
and they Luffy held for a little bit. Can't even handle these bats. You talking beat my ass, and then Luffy hit him one time. He was like, "All right." It's like that lean forward, man. Just like serious.
Okay, I ain't playing around no more.
But yeah, I kind of like that. Zoro was like the people that we're fighting here. They kind of trick you a little bit. These are like the worst type of opponents for Luffy to fight because he's so straightforward, and that person like Moria is for what he lacks in like strength and power and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's the type of villain that like get the drop on you when you're not paying attention. Like he just show up, snip your shadow,
Okay,
and then he puts that in his little zombies.
I hear you.
I will say though, like the recent arcs have made me respect Moria a lot more. Like he really does care about his crewmates.
Yeah, that's true. Like, and especially after what happened to him prior, so he probably is like the ones that I do have that aren't zombies. I'm trying to keep them. You know.
Mm.
I'm warming up to Maria. He an old head, so he ain't as wild as the rookies, but he know how to make moves and build an arsenal. That's fair enough. Go ahead, Alan.
No, I just said he pulled up on Blackbeard for Absalom.
Yeah, you said don't get. You said where teach. I said that's you yelling for teach. You brave. You're a brave man. I ain't not looking for that nigga. Don't find me. Don't even look for me, bro. No, his control for his devil fruit is crazy good. If he wasn't lazy, a lot of things would have changed. That's fair. What
I
do
agree
you,
with that.
okay. What about you, Sam? How did you feel about Maria as an antagonist?
Initially I didn't like Moria. Um, but in hindsight, I like him a lot more. Especially like even the beginning of the stream, I started thinking about him in a different light. Just like hearing y'all's thoughts on the Kaido rivalry, I kind of started thinking about him in a dynamic I hadn't been.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I think seeing his story unfold in hindsight, him being defeated, demoralized, running back to paradise, as you stated earlier, and then how we got introduced to him, which is something I do give Oda credit for, is he can introduce us to a character and give us some indication of like why they are the way they are, and then later on give us more information about something that can even give us even more introspection into them. You know what I mean? So like you bring it when y'all brought up the Kaido stuff, it gave me a new view on, as I think it was Pat mentioned, when we see him with his head in his hands and being down that way and acting the way he is, and the comments Jinbei made, it's like, damn, like there's a whole nother side to your story, you know what I mean? So I think in Thriller Bark I didn't like him too much, but like looking at hindsight, I appreciate his character a lot more.
That's kind of funny. I would argue that we all kind of have the same opinion. It's like in retrospect, you're like, you know what? He's not that bad. In retrospect, it's not even like I think the problem is I honestly didn't dislike him at all, and I really thought he fit the kind of horror theme Oda was going for on Thriller Bark. I like the long net with the stitches and stuff like that. So actually, like did you look goofy? Of course, of course. But this is One Piece. I'm here for this. This is what I expect in a lot of ways. His voice was definitely higher than I thought in the anime, so that threw me off initially at first. I don't know why I thought he'd have him more like some, I don't know, some Dracula type. I want to Saki, blood. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. It wasn't that. But I thought he was. I thought his ability was cool. I thought what he was doing, the fact that he had the biggest ship ever. I thought all the things are really cool. But my problem with him was I thought he got pushed into a corner kind of easily as soon as like he tried to engage himself. You know, it's kind of funny. Like he's like, all right, fine, I'll come through. He's in the cockpit and stuff, and I'm like, I feel like he got kind of pressed really quick to the point where like I'm gonna absorb all these thousand shadows. But I also thought about it. I thought about this today. I'm like, you know, Luffy's never used two gears at the same time before.
Yay.
Thank you for the sub, Miles. I
Oni-chan.
appreciate it.
Peace, peace.
He never used two gears before. And I'm just like, should I put stock in that? Is that significant? Like, he's never done jet shell before, and that shit put him on the ground like he was wiped. Like, do I put stock into that? But yeah, I don't have a problem with him. I never disliked him. I just thought that as a Shichibukai, he was the one that impressed me the least off rip. But as it builds, I'm like, no, he's fine. He's okay. That makes sense. Imagine if he had to make it to the New World with oars. How long do you think he'd last? And would he have lost to Kaido again? He definitely would have lost to Kaido again. He's not beating him. He's not beating Kaido. So let's just throw it out the window. Huh?
Kaido would have smacked the shit out of oars.
Yeah. Kind of want to just Thunder Bagua through oars and the cockpit. Like, I don't know. But it is interesting to think about what kind of crew, what the crew could have, what damage they could have done in the New World to some degree. But I don't think those guys were that strong. I think the advantage he would have had was if nobody knew about the salt water or the salt thing, it's just like, how do you put them down? But also, now that we learned about hockey, especially if you have like Conqueror's hockey to protect you from certain abilities, because remember Loth, like I can't move them, their hockey is too strong. I don't even think Perona hacks would work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that was a topic of discussion for a lot of time. People were like,
with Sugar too.
Perona and Sugar, they were like, oh, they're broken, they can defeat anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we know that you can protect yourself with hockey, if it's strong enough, it puts things back into perspective. The New World really different.
I totally agree. But but yeah, definitely losing to Kaido win, that's for sure. Crocodile was a standard. You know, Crocodile is literally my favorite character. So I was like, if it's not my guy, it's like, yo, yeah, y'all mid. Y'all mid. I'm joking. Prime Kiss Shot, you already know. Moria was a guy when Kuma pulled up, he didn't care. All world deserve respect. They're all good characters and strong. I agree with that for the most part. Like, they have something to offer. Like, they were each a warlord for a reason. Whether or not you care about the reason, there was a reason for it. So, what you'll think Blackbeard doing? You think you're having a battle as grand as Luffy? Wait, what? You'll think Blackbeard doing? You think you're having a battle as grand as... I don't know. Blackbeard's opportunist. Blackbeard's a real pirate. That's what I like about him. You don't care about all that honor shit. Fuck all that. Trying to win. W's out here. All right, Sin, start us off. Give us something. What do you
My favorite part of Thriller Bark involves one of my favorite characters in the series, and that is Usopp versus Perona.
Ooh!
I think
Yes, sir.
This
Mr. Negative. Let's get it.
This fight gave Usopp a lot of growth, and it gave me a lot of depth into like who he was. Like, if you look at his journey as Soja King and like what he's trying to be, like even going even like looking at later stuff down the line too, like his insecurities are, to me, makes him super relatable as a character, because like Usopp is one of those like human characters that he has a lot of the same mindsets that a lot of us go through at times. Like, you know, some people are more confident than others, of course, but there's always times in your life where like you can feel kind of how Usopp feels. Like, am I replaceable? Am I as important as I'd like to be? And like seeing him fight Perona, and like the moment when he has to put the mask on to kind of like step back into like who Soja King is to overcome this, and like it was just a powerful moment, man. Like Usopp's character is like, I did a really, really awesome character analysis video on Usopp. Unfortunately, it got taken down because the Toei's on some bullshit. But it's probably my favorite. It's probably my probably the most my most favorite video I've done, like on my One Piece channel. Um, because I just love his character, man. Like everything about him, like even down to him losing his mother is relatable to me. Like, bro, it's just like it's just crazy.
Bad. But
The only thing with Usopp, bro, that like I be like, yo, come on, Usopp, is like the lying, bro. Like this man just be lying all the time. But like I understand it's part
Master
of his
Capper.
character. He just be always like it's the only thing I'm not like I can't relate to him like bro like Usopp, yo. I just don't be capping like that, bro.
But
I fuck
people
with
do
you, but
though.
like
But
God,
people
yeah,
do be
people
capping
do.
like
Now
that.
people be lying. People definitely yeah, for facts. And I think that's what it also goes into relatability, bro. A lot of people fucking lie about stupid shit. Just like Usopp lies about like important
Unprovoked.
shit, also stupid. A lot of stupid shit he's lied about in the story.
Yeah.
Unprovoked, like you said, like no one fucking asked that Usopp. Like, what are you lying? Like, no one cared. You know what I mean? But he'll still lie, and like people do that shit, bro. Like, it's just funny, bro. It's funny. But yeah, that Usopp Perona fight, you feel me? Like you said, Mr. Negative, bro. Fire. I feel like that's one of his, in my opinion, one of his biggest victories in the series. Like he came through. You know what I mean? Because like her Perona's ability is super hacks. You know what I mean? Like Usopp was just like the perfect person to defeat Perona, like
Yep.
specifically. You know what I mean? So I fuck with that. That's my probably one of my favorite thing in the arc.
I think,
Sin, my nigga. I'm glad you said this
Hey,
because every time niggas hating on Usopp, I'm just like, hey, bro, what is Usopp? A regular person. He not like Zorro, and nigga cut different. He not like Sanji, and niggas also cut different. He not Luffy. Nigga made of rubber. Chopper is a fucking reindeer monster. Frankie is a cyborg. Robin's a double fruit user. Brook is dead already. Like, bro, this nigga has the lowest mortality, like, among the crew. If he gets smacked by the wrong person, it's over for him. But besides that, he still stick digging his heels and come through when it matters most. How can you not respect somebody like that? He in way over his head. That's like if one of us got put into the One Piece world and we gotta fight people like this. It'd be over in like 5 seconds.
yep.
that's facts. Ain't nothing. Like, that's what I be telling niggas. I be like, Usopp be fighting niggas way stronger than him, bro. Like none of y'all niggas will ever be able to do anything to these niggas that he's fighting. Like
That's a fact.
they be like Usopp soft. I'm like Usopp will beat the shit out of you, bro. Like
Miles said Thriller Barker just hits every note from action, comedy to thriller. Even love with Hogback, Hippolola, emotional all around, got the giant group fight, a lot of single fights, new crew members, like a perfect arc. Actually, I'm happy that like I thought there'd be a lot more like, you know, a little more like contention here. You know, I know this is an arc that usually when I talk about, people are like meh. But I want to piggyback off what you guys are saying because I think it's very important. Because and Pat, you'll appreciate this because you're a big JoJo fan like I am. What
Yes,
I
sir.
always appreciate about Usopp is he to me is he's our insert because if we're in the One Piece world, we're likely like Usopp. We got a fucking slingshot, my nigga. Like we're not Kaido. We're not like cut it out. You know, like on average, right? So I've always liked that. So I like that you mentioned that like he's like the most him and Nami to me have always been kind of the most normal ones in a lot of ways. But Nami's still very genius talented and she has a really powerful weapon and stuff. But not that Usopp doesn't have his like gadgets. Usopp to me is courage personified. Why do I say that? What did Zappelli say about courage back in Phantom Blood? See, to me, Luffy is fearless. That's different. He doesn't really understand the concept of being scared. Not that he doesn't get shocked and scared and blah blah blah, but Luffy's just a man of action. He goes head first,
Yeah,
right?
he doesn't get intimidated by his opponents
Exactly.
ever.
But if you're actually afraid of your opponent, afraid of a situation, and you overcome that, whether your legs are shaking, you're peeing yourself, your nose is running, but you overcome that, that's courage. And that's why I've always respected Usopp. Because when it matters most, even though it may look ugly, he plants his feet firmly on the ground and does what he has to do. Same thing with this fight. No one else could have beaten Perona. And if she was running wild, they would not get off this island. Give Usopp his respect.
facts talk. Talk to these niggas, guys.
Go ahead, Alan. Because I'm about to talk about Perona. Why she one of my favorite One Piece girls in the sex. So,
Yeah, no, just continuing off of continuing off the Usopp talk is along with Usopp, I like how Thriller Bark is mostly a weakling trio perspective. You know, just because like they're the first ones we're following on the island, and we mostly see the story unfold through like just from their side. So that was something I really did enjoy about in that arc, especially just like y'all said with Usopp fighting Corona and Usopp having to step up and be the one who's able to get them out of a sticky situation. And along with what I mentioned earlier about Chopper. But yeah, other than that, I guess the only things I don't really like was fucking Absalom. Like, that guy's a fucking loser. Like I just can't. I don't rate him.
okay, I'll get to it in a second. I'll talk about the Perona real quick. No, I just think she's cute. That's all. She has the gothic Lolita's like style that I like. At the time, I was really into that style. I don't even remember one of my old handles was like that. It was like I can't remember what it was, but that part came from the gothic Lolita style. Because at one point I thought it was really cute and good looking, but I actually genuinely like her. Like she's funny, she kills me. And seeing her like with Zorro and Mihawk and stuff now too was just a nice treat to me. I just like her. I think she had a little bit of a glow up. I like her. I like how she looks post time. That's my ghost princess. She like top 5 for me. Just in terms of like appearances and look. And she got and her eyes are a lot different from most characters too, which I appreciate. Because she has like the kind of like roundish, kind of like Rock Lee eyes, if you will. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she's cool. Absalom is a loser. We can talk about him. Yeah, like that god is dead. We packed that nigga. Let's go. Yeah, I was not messing with him. He's creeping me out, man. Then he had the little invisible guns in his head. So you talk about my dream, and you know what I always like about being able to talk about these arcs now when we're so much further that we could use hindsight and retrospect. It's the fact that Sanji challenged him when he was mad because that's the only thing what he wanted. But now Sanji has the raid suit, but he can turn invisible. Like that's just so funny to me. You know what I'm saying? With Stealth Black, like I love things like that. Like the fact that we know Lola is literally a child of Big Mom. Like we know that now. We had an inkling, we had a feeling. We weren't sure, but with the foreknowledge that we have, with all the things that happen later, sometimes when you come back to these arcs, it recontextualizes a couple of scenes, and I always appreciate that. So, yeah. You think Perona really went to Blackbeard Island for Moria? Nah, I think she's built like that. She's not built like that. If she dead, if someone has her, if I see some nigga from Blackbeard could use her power, I'm gonna be sick.
Shit!
I'm gonna literally just cough on stream and be sick. I can't live like that. Okay. Let me think. I'm trying to think. At the very beginning of the arc, there's this one joke that just makes me laugh for some reason. I always remember very specific jokes in arcs for whatever reason. Like in Water 7, one of my favorite ones for whatever reason is just Luffy trying to imitate Kaku, and he just fucks up and he bounces off the wall into the water. Like, what is he doing? Why is he like this? Why is he like this? Remember when they're like, oh, it's like it's a zombie or whatever. Like, it's a zombie. Like, no, it's an old man in bandages. Like, that shit killed me. And when he pushed the zombie back into the ground, it's like, bro, what? Luffy said, nah, stay in the ground.
When Cerberus bit that nigga, Luffy's like, here, let me tame it. And he's bit. He's like, oh no, that's a good boy. It's a good boy. He punched that nigga into the wall. It's like, dumbass dog.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Someone in Blackbeard's crew takes her ability and fights Usopp. Oh my god.
Nah, the shit that sticks out to me at the beginning of the arc is when Luffy, Frankie, Zoro, Sanji, and Robin, they go out to the island because Nami and the rest of them taking too long to get back. Mm-hmm. And then Perona's ghost is on the island.
Yes. And
it goes through Luffy and he's depressed. Then it goes through Frankie, he's also depressed. And Zoro, they like that because they're always so carefree and let their guard down. And then Zoro goes through it and he say he wish he was never born. And then Sanji's like, I saw something pretty interesting back there.
God, I love their relationship so much. Shit is so funny to me. Okay, I guess we could talk about this because I think this is kind of significant. How do we? Well, I guess it ties into some of Zoro's lineage a little bit. Seeing Ryuma's body, a corpse, having Brook's shadow in it, and how one of the later reveals we have with him, Ryuma being a Shimotsuki, and Zoro coming from that island and likely being a descendant of Ryuma. How does that? How does this scene? How does this moment and this arc? How is that different to you now, knowing how truly powerful Ryuma really was and whatnot? Like how was this moment recontextualized for you? I actually I found revisiting this arc with that knowledge, I can't look at Ryuma's body the same anymore. Like I hold in higher respect, in higher regard. That makes sense. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, bro. For me, bro, I was like, okay, cool, Ryuma. At the time, I'm like, oh, okay, this dude's cool, I guess. Like, he gave Zoro a sword. Like, I didn't think nothing of him, really.
Yeah,
And
initially.
then, like, now I'm like, oh, this nigga built different, apparently. Like, what the fuck? And then, once again, bro, Oda doing that shit, bro, where he just like, we got our first initial thought of somebody, and then we find out some shit later, and we like, bro, what the fuck, bro? Like, this dude, the Shimosuke, they calling him sword god and shit. He's protected Wano for hella long. Like, people hold him in high regards in Wano. Like, I'm just like, damn. Like, I didn't think any of that when I first seen him. I just thought it was just a reason Oda was for to give Zoro a cool sword. Like, that's what I looked at it as. Like,
Yeah,
I thought he'd just be a guy that we see and never see again. I'm gonna be honest, but like now I'm like, God damn, this nigga fire. Like,
See, it's because of moments like this with like Ryuma and Thriller Bark, or like with the Sky Island people and the Nolan backstory with them talking about the Tontatas and stuff like that. Stuff like that is what always sets me off when people talk about these arcs, because they're self-contained, they're not relevant throughout the rest of the series. So it's okay for you to just like look up the wiki or whatever, some stupid dumb shit like that. I'm like, bro, shit like this is what makes One Piece special, because you'll get a first impression of somebody, and then you'll come away thinking, okay, that was cool, I guess. And then 3, 4, 5 arcs later down the line, it gets recontextualized, and you're just like, oh, fuck.
and you could also and also a lot of that stuff too. It makes certain moments and lines. You're like, you were projecting here. That's why you said this. Like, sorry, real quick. Let me talk about my goat crocodile. The crocodile's line about you have no idea what's on these oceans. That's him literally like, bro, you're saying this, but you don't get it. You haven't been there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Crocodile remember, he lost and he ran back to paradise. Like, he understood that. So sometimes when these moments happen, when you go back, you're like, now I know. Now I really know why you said this or did this, or this was your goal or plan. You see what I'm saying? Keep going. Doesn't Mario have the
Nah,
corpses of some famous rocks pirates? I don't even know. I don't recall seeing that. Oh, I think it was one. Maybe there was one, because didn't Luffy get a treasure from one of them? Somebody there? The thing on his arm? Am I tripping?
Captain John.
Yeah, there we go. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But yeah, that's one of the beauties of some of these arcs, because like I would be like, if you read like Punk Hazard now and you see Conjuro, you can't look at Conjuro the same way anymore. You know he's a traitor. You see what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
love shit like that. So yeah, they said
Not to mention, I think this is the first time that Wano and Kaido, are, like Wano, Kaido, and what else? I think it's just Wano and Kaido. This is the first time they're both even mentioned by name. And so
like
yeah, just like saying, not witnessing this art, like speak of a personal experience, and not even not witnessing this art like as it happened, or just in order of when it was intended to come up. You do miss out on a lot of shit. Like I didn't get to see Brooks initial meeting with Luffy and him joining the crew. I didn't see the meeting with Lola, and even have, like, getting the inkling of knowing that Lola might have been Big Mom's daughter. So yeah, just like y'all were saying, just people telling you to skip arcs. That shit is so stupid because it's just you miss out on so much shit. Like the introduction of Kuma as well, because this is his first appearance in the story too. I think, right?
it's not
Yes, sir.
it's not the literal first time you see him, but you like properly like seeing him do stuff and take some type of action. Yes, because he does show up to the meeting when Sengoku calls it initially. I'm pretty sure doesn't he show up?
Yeah, he was there with
Yeah,
Doflamingo.
and they were shocked though. He showed up. They're like, "Why are you here?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm just killing time, Nick." Business are going well. I got some time. Might as well stroll out. Okay, just real quick on 'cause I forgot to talk about this when we are talking about Moria. What do you guys? How do you guys feel about his ability? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Or do you like how he uses it or utilizes it? How do you feel about it in total? Like,
Yo, how did he?
Go
I
ahead.
just want to know how he used it at Marineford.
You got the big scissors.
That's the only thing I know. Like, someone brought that up to me, and I was like trying to figure it out a way for me. I was trying to. I was in my protect Oda bag, so I was like I was thinking hard.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, damn, yo, I really can't come up with nothing.
So he had his cape in the wind.
Yeah, it just didn't work, bro. I just had to give in. I was like, usually I protect Oda if I can. You feel me? I do. But sometimes you just can't, Sometimes you just gotta let it go. You feel me? I feel like people in the fandom gotta learn that. Sometimes you just can't protect Oda. You can try your hardest, but there's just some things you can't explain. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I always like the concept of reversing the shadow and the body. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could really say about his ability that I really like. I thought was really cool. I don't even know how he figured out he could take shadows and reanimate corpses. That's crazy to me. But yeah, your shadow falls what you do. So remember how you're like, how was he stretching? That was a crazy. I'm like, wait a minute, wait, his hand actually. What the fuck just happened? I'm like, wait. Did he take the? I remember at first because by this time I'm reading weekly. I'm like, did he take the essence of the fruit through the shit? I'm doing all kinds of mental gymnastics on these forums. One manga.com forum back in the day. I'm doing all kinds of mental gymnastics. I was obviously wrong, but I always found that part of his ability cool. Otherwise, yeah.
No, that shit was terrifying, bro. Because when it was fighting Orza at first, he talking about some gummo gummo no, and it's just a regular attack. But then when he actually stretched, I was like, oh shit. Nah, he might be done for. He might be done for. He talking about some gummo gummo no pistol and he stretched. I was like, oh my god. No. Somebody that big should not be using that move.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to know that because I'm going to transition to because since we're on Kuma, I want to transition to Kuma. Actually, wait, Alan, chime in. What do you feel about his ability?
Oh no, I like the ability. It's pretty cool.
Okay. Does anyone else wonder how he figured out to like cut shadows and throw them in people? Did Hogback teach him that? Why does he know that? You guys ever wonder if you eat a fruit, you somewhat instinctively get like an idea of how it works, or do you have to be creative? How do you guys see that? Just out of curiosity.
I think it's creativity because when Luffy was using the Gummo Gummo no Mi when he was a kid, he fucking sucked. He just sucked. It took him years to be nice.
Momo barely can use his double fruit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's another thing too. Like Momo seeing Kaido up close and give him some ideas, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
But yeah, I think that maybe he figured it out by just experimenting with his own shadows. Once he noticed that maybe once he noticed that his shadow could be split from himself, he could probably he tried to do it on somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Okay, so one of my favorite devil fruits in One Piece is the Niku no Mi, Kuma's fruit.
Yes, sir. It's top 5.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I kind of got it tied with Hawkins' fruit, for my favorite. But the reason I wanted to talk about it is because I honestly like. Of course, it was cool. By the way, like I mean, do you actually? We'll get there. We'll get there. I really like that he could repel things that are kind of intangible, like pain and exhaustion. And then I wonder, can you do that with memories? You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like memories, stuff like emotions. Like, could I remove sadness from a nigga? Like, could I? Like, you sad? Like, don't be sad, nigga. Like, I just swipe his hand and slap the sadness out of him. Like, could I do that? Like, I always wondered, like, how far you can go with that ability, and I thought it was really cool. And the Urusu shock shit was fucking gold. But in fact, he's also a part sidebar. I said, this nigga is raw. What the hell?
He's certified.
You took that sumo stance? He's like, oh wait, hold on. I'm here for this. I'm here for this. So, and I kind of like Kuma too. I don't have a problem with Kuma, but yeah. They want to piggyback off that the ability Kuma, right? Anything of the sort.
And when I first saw Kuma, I thought he was invincible, man.
Mm.
Because I mean, obviously they were tired because they just fought for their lives for hours. But shit, they just try to slash him. He stick his paw out and then just block the attack. Ursa's shock, like you said, was devastating attack. He over here repelling damage. I'm just like, so how do you beat him then? Like he can repel the damage from himself too, right?
Hmm. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Like, I don't know if it works on himself, but that would be crazy. Hold on. What
He's
comment that?
insanely
The
fast.
comment I saw. What shit just be happening in One Piece? Explanation. No point thinking too hard. Like how Brook Devil Fruit is to be immortal, yet he can freeze people and astral projection as a skeleton. I actually took that as him as Brook misunderstanding his whole ability. His ability is to manipulate and control his soul, so he can go back into his body and reanimate it. Did that? Did anyone else? Am I alone on that?
I think that makes sense because especially especially coming out of the time skip, and he understands that he's the Soul King and he can manipulate other people's souls.
Yeah, and then Big Mom literally has that ability, and he's the only one who could like hurt the homies and whatnot. So I think that's significant. So that's how I took it. Just me personally, but fair enough. Kumo's fruit is air pressure manipulation or an abstract concept to repel living people. Kuma and Thriller Bark is first commander level, and no one can change my mind. Only Mihawk is beating him at that time. Oh, Thriller Bark, Kuma. Yeah, Kuma would have been a problem for anyone to fight with his abilities, his know-how, and the cyborg stuff. Man, should have been crazy. All right, but yeah, how significant was Kuma's role for you guys here? I asked this because one of my friends, I remember this is the exact chapter that he caught up when Kuma just kind of steps to the front, and after Zoro's gonna deal with it, after Luffy's already tired, and then we can get to the nothing happened moment in a second. But how did you guys feel about Kuma's role here? Because I actually thought that he was much more menacing of a presence than Moria was the whole arc. Like I knew he was around. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
go ahead.
Oh no, yeah. Just from the moment he shows up, he's just way more threatening than what Moria was, because for everything that Moria did, he wasn't actually trying to kill Luffy and at least Zoro and Sanji for a little while until later on because he needed their shadows,
Mm-hmm.
and if they
Hmm.
died, their bodies died, then he wouldn't be able to use the shadows.
Oh, that's
He
true.
wasn't actually trying to kill them. But once Kuma steps on the scene, you have no idea what's on his mind, and he's unleashing all these devastating attacks onto them. So it really seems like it could have been the end for the Straw Hat.
Also, when Kuma first come to Thriller Bark, he's here to like warn Moria. He's like, "Yo, this man Luffy, he just beat
Different,
Crocodile. Now
different.
you about to be next." And
Well,
Moria get mad at him. He was like, "Bro, what? Who the fuck are you talking to?" Like, he was like, "Bro, don't
he said,
stop
"Me lose
fucking
to
playing with
that
me."
punk rookie? Yeah, bring his ass here."
But it's like he
Bro.
come here, he give the warning, nigga don't listen. So like, well, okay. I'm over here thinking he just left. Nah, he's still around. He show up in front of Perona. He like, where you want to go? And like in hindsight, we know he just sent her away to where Mihawk stay at. But seeing it the first time, not knowing what he can do, he just swipe, boom, she gone. I was like, what?
Erased her.
Yeah, bro, that shit was crazy. Yeah, Kuma. Yeah, I remember Kuma showing up, and I was like, bro, I don't know who this nigga is. Yo, but this nigga cold as shit. Like, I just remember thinking, like, bro, this dude is cold as hell, bro. Like, came with the Bible, bro. I was like, oh yeah, like he's different.
That's how
Like, I
I deal.
just
Like, wait,
remember,
hold on, you hold the Bible? Yeah.
yeah, like, bro, he's
Pirate
different,
with a
bro. Like,
Bible? Yeah, I'm scared.
I was like, yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, this nigga different, bro. Like, and then like, but he ended up being cold, and he ended up being like a fair person. You feel me? Which I didn't expect. I thought he was really gonna be on some like super cold shit, like just not give a fuck shit and just go crazy. But like he really was fair. Like he gave giving Zoro the opportunity to do that. It's like okay, he does have some like sort of some sense of like morals, I guess. You know what I mean? Like he he isn't like a Doflamingo, right? Where like Doflamingo just doesn't give a fuck. He'll just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That he's just Doflamingo. Where Kuma is like, look, I'm a pirate. I gotta do what I gotta do. You know, as a warlord and shit. However, he giving Zoro the opportunity was kind of fire. Like I really fuck with Kuma's character. It's kind of sad seeing him where he's at now, and you know, with at the
Mm.
reverie and shit, how he is.
No, go ahead. Continue. My
Nah,
bad.
it was just kind of like looking at him from the Thriller Bark perspective, and then looking at him from the Reverie perspective. I'm like, damn, yo, like like what's that song? It was like, damn, homie, in high school you was the man, homie. What happened to you? Like, bro, that's kind of how I feel about Kuma. Like, damn, homie, like, like yo, it's like even Sabo looking at him like, yo, Sabo getting mad and shit. Like, yo, what the fuck? Like, that's yo, what happened to my man's? Like, that's kind of how I feel, but I fuck with Kuma though.
What I there's a thing there's a thing in One Piece that happens a lot of times. I don't mind certain characters abiding by like a bit of a code of honor stuff. That's not my problem. I do want more pirates to do more pirate shit, you know. But that's why I love that. Like that's why I love Blackbeard and whatnot. But there's always been a level of sense of romanticism of what it is to be a man in One Piece from pretty early on. Even when you see them don the armor and stuff, you know, they act a certain way. How all the boys act a certain way for the robots. Even Law was like, wait, ninjas, nigga? Huh? You know what I'm saying? Like that's always been present. And I always find it weird that a lot of people don't talk about it. Because it's like, Kaido Curry had this when he was like, he was honestly ashamed that he had to get that blow in because Flampe helped him, right? But then you'll see someone like Crocodile. It's like, yo, the word unfair is meaningless to pirates. And I'm like, yeah, that's gas. That's what I want to see. Pull out the poison, okay? Get the W. I don't want to hear none of this honorable stuff. But yeah, Kuma was like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. If you can take all the pain and exhaustion from your captain, I'll leave. Dead ass. I was like, all right. And he did that. And I was like, oh shit. But you know when I noticed it? It was actually the Dayback fight. It's when Aokiji beat Luffy and he's like, well, you challenged me to a one-on-one. I'm kind of indebted to your grandfather, blah, 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 and he just let it go. But after they're like, why did you leave Luffy there? And Zoro and Sanji are like, yo, we asked for a one-on-one. What do you want us to say? Like, that part, the rest of what meant to be a man has always been there. Always. I need to give a video on that. I don't talk about that enough.
Romanticism.
Yeah, I gotta do that more. But yeah. I like Kuma, though. I love his ability more, but I like Kuma. He's raw. I actually liked the fight too with him and Zoro. I thought it was good, even in the anime. Like I think it was good. Like, she's so legendary. It's just a legendary That's the one that might be better than the one against Dash Bones. It might be. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that.
The first time I'm binging One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
I think I told you before. Now I ain't tell the other two. Summer of 2010. Like, bro, just waking up. You know, summer vacation. Niggas wake up, go on the computer, watch One Piece like 20 episodes a day, go to sleep, wake up, rinse, repeat. So I'm watching it. I just finished Water 7. I was like, damn, that shit was some gas. Let me see what Oda got in store for me. Watching Thriller Bark. Like, okay, this arc not as good, but it's still good. Get to the end. They beat Moria. I was like, okay, we're done here, boys. Let's go on to the next arc. What's about to happen? Kuma show up. I'm like, wait, this is against the rules. They can't be fighting.
This is against the rules.
They can't be fighting two top tiers back to back. What's going on? He do the Ursa's shop. I'm like, bro, what the fuck going on? Because you know, back then in 2010, like there was no social media, nothing like that. So I didn't know like what was going to happen. I didn't know who was in the crew or what. Like I didn't know what's going to happen in the future.
I was a forum ass nigga. I was in the forums, baby.
Yeah, that was the only thing we had. So I'm just over here like, bro, so what's about to happen? You pick up Luffy body. I'm like, bro, One Piece about to end here? Ain't no way. I still got like 200 episodes left to watch.
You said about
this man Zorro.
Oh, nah, I'm a dipping out, bro. But hey, appreciate you having me on, Brody.
Just real quick, give me your give me your rating for Thriller Bark. If you have to give
Got you, bro. So I don't really have any arcs on One Piece like lower than a 7, low key. and I kind of like Thriller Bark, so I'm gonna roll with an 8 for Thriller Bark.
Let's go.
All right,
I'm
thank
gonna
you,
roll with
sir.
an 8 for
That's a
Thriller
good
Bark.
man.
Hey, appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for having me on as always. Always down to be on these, bro. So just hit me up. You feel me? Let me know.
The Marine Ford one is gonna be a bigger one, so definitely.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let me know, bro. Let me know. Marine 4, definitely. You feel me? I'll make sure. This was last minute. You feel me? So I had to make some time real quick. But let me know like a week or so in advance for the next one, so I can stay for the whole time, bro.
All right, man. I appreciate you
All
coming
right,
through.
G, be easy, Brody.
You're. Yeah. Oh man.
Nah,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. I'm just saying, like, I'm watching this shit. I see somebody step. I'm like, I know those boots. It's Zoro. And it's just like this is all happening like within zero point 0.5 seconds of my brain. It's so. I'm telling you, I almost fell out my fucking seat. I was just like, bro, this nigga Zoro's still ready to fight. And then Zoro breathing heavily. You look at Kuma. It's not blood that came out. This man is oil. I'm like, nigga, he a robot?
Yo, the cyborg remember that he went. Then they opened him out and went beep 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 beep. I said, no, get out of there. I said, Zoro, leave, my nigga, get out of there, bro. Holy shit! I have to say this. This had a quick aside. Zoro was actually one of the only characters in One Piece I truly feared for his life. Not, I won't say necessarily here. I was definitely scared, but to carry on into what happened later on in Sabaody, I actually was afraid. I'm like, is he gonna? Because I always thought like that would be a bold decision. Like you take out Luffy's strongest member. You know what I'm saying? I was scared for him at that point, but sorry. But yeah, but I was gonna say, is that the best Sushi Son though? That the GOAT one?
That's the goal one for me, bro. I'm sorry. The way it came out, the setup, like everything that happened after and before, it was just too great.
Yeah. It's between that one and the one against Das Bones, but I think it's one more because like you said, you see the foot and you just see the cut, and you're like, okay, you did something. Then you just see a robotic parts, and you can just pull up his arm like it's a sleeve. I'm like, there's no way he's a fucking robot. And at the time, like we have Frankie, but we're like, first of all, he kind of sunned Frankie. he made Usopp look stupid when he reflected the Firebird star back at him. He's like, what a ridiculous name and title. And he's like, yeah, Frankie's only like robot from the front, you know? But he's just kind of like, yo, Zoro didn't even cut him. Like he opened him, but he didn't cut him. And then after, yeah, he started beeping, throwing beams and stuff. I'm like, this is so fucking crazy. I loved it though. That was amazing for me. That was amazing. It's a good. The thing that I always give Thriller Bark, whether you like it or don't like it, you have to admit that it ends very powerfully.
It's the strongest conclusion in One Piece for me.
You think so?
Of
Okay,
all the arcs.
You mean conclusion in terms of okay, yeah, not necessarily the climax. Okay, I got what you're saying. Actually, do I agree with that? I might agree with that. Hold on. Do I agree with that? It's definitely
Let's
up there.
go.
Definitely up there. Because with the Laboon story too after this, and tying it back, like you might hold on, maybe onto something. He might have just did something right there. He might have just did something. But let's talk about Nothing Happened. How fucking raw was that shit, bro?
Nigga. Where's my cape? Hold on. Let me put this shit on.
Hold on, Pat. Before you put your cape on, bro, let me just interject here real quick.
Oh, his shit was pre-iron. Go ahead, Alan.
This is just another one of those reasons why, bro, like I was mad that niggas told me to skip Thriller Bark. I'm like, bro, why would you tell me to skip something that fucking raw? Like, nigga, even if you decided that nothing else in the arc mattered, which is a fucking lie, why would you tell me to skip something that fucking raw? Like, what is wrong with you?
Like, at minimum, I needed to see that.
Like, no, I'm saying, bro. Like, at the very least, you could have been like, "Hey, bro, just go to this chapter or this episode and just watch this one part." Nigga. Like, come on, man.
It's my girlfriend see that Nothing Happened moment via Facebook clip and got her to start watching One Piece. That's raw. Let's go.
Hey.
I rate that. Go ahead, man.
Look, this man, Zoro, trying to fight Kuma with, like, nothing left. Like, his tank is literally on E, screaming at him to stop moving. He over here like, damn, there's nothing I could do to him right now. Like, even if I was at full strength, I don't even think I could beat him. He like, is there anything I could do to convince you to not take Luffy's life?
Mm-hmm.
And then Kuma's like, I mean, probably. And he was like, he throw his swords aside. I'm like, Zoro, what you doing? This man get on his hands and knees and say, take my life instead. Because one day I'm going to be the world's strongest swordsman. I'm like, bro, hold on. Like, I'm like, too much is happening right now. Luffy not going to die, but you going to die? Like, I don't like that alternative. And then Sanji get up.
Yup.
I got this shit like almost memorized. Mate, Soyaro. I'm like, oh no, Sanji, what you doing? like, no, not my favorite character. Like coming over here, like, bro, what happened to your dream of being the world's strongest swordsman? The person that's gonna cause this crew the most trouble is this Kurashi no Sanji. I'm like, oh my god. And all these years, I never knew what he meant by that. And it's not until we get to Whole Cake Island we find out he's from the Germa.
Mm-hmm. Again,
Come on, man.
visiting these
Come on,
scenes
man.
again with the knowledge that we have from later events, it kind of changes certain moments a little bit. But Sanji also being able to wanting to lay his head down too for Luffy was crazy. And Brook, was it Brook who witnessed it? Brook, who had saw it? Was it
Brooke saw it because he ain't got no eyes, so he didn't know he was awake. And Robin heard it afterwards, I
Okay,
think.
okay. I knew two people knew about it. I remember it. I was like, hell yes. Join the adventure we're in. I think it was Brook. Yeah, I remember it was Brook. I thought Brook was Brook and someone else. I remember it was Rob. But yeah, like that's such an epic moment. And then like I remember like, do you remember how you felt the moment you saw him standing there and there was just that blood over the bricks and everywhere around him and like, bro.
Nigga, I'm over here like,
okay?
is he alive?
Right? Is he okay? And then
Man,
Sanji's like, yo, what? Where'd he go? He's just there. He's just shaking. Blood clouds a lip. Nothing happened. I said, nigga.
Bro, that's the thing. I will never, ever entertain these Zoro versus Sanji debates. Talking about Zoro hates Sanji or Sanji hates Zoro. Like, no, bro, it's all nonsense.
They don't
At the end
understand
of
the
the
dynamic
day,
properly. It's a
they
rivalry,
don't
but it's not
understand
hatred.
it at all.
Yeah.
They probably don't like each other, but they're still brothers. They love each other. You don't have to like everybody that you love. It sounds crazy, but it's true.
Yep. Cause like, I would and anytime there's an external force, they're gonna work together against it anyways. Especially if it's against Luffy and whatnot. So you saw it right there. So, oh man, but that's a honestly like a really 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 epic scene. It's actually not my favorite Zoro moment, but it's a really good fucking scene. Like it's a crazy 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 scene. So I have to appreciate it. It has a lasting impact on future arcs too. Yeah, I agree with that. And Zoro always loses so much damn blood. You know what I'm saying? So when the Laboon story comes full circle, knowing that the Rumbar pirates, damn it.
Yes.
Okay.
Rumbar Pirates.
I want to say Rumble. No, it's Rumble Ball, and I'm sick with that. Oh, anyways, when that all comes full circle, I have to admit this. I thought it was cool, but I promise you, I didn't give a fuck about that whale. I just didn't care. I care more now. I care more now. But when it first happened, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Okay, calm up. I'm like, man, fuck Laboon. Let's leave. That's such a powerful moment, and like the moment where Brook truly joins the crew, like he actually really joins it, pulls the thing out of his head, the tone down stuff and everything. That was all amazing. That was all good. But like, it's just. You really, like, did anyone think that the stuff with Laboon would ever be significant again? Like, that's really what got me. Like, that's cool. Like,
No.
I don't think that will come back around. Like I thought there was like maybe a slight chance Oda would bring it back around at the end of the series, but no, I had no idea that shit would come back in the form of a crew member.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it's one of those things that gives Brook a purpose on the crew.
Yes.
And that's why I keep trying to tell people like all the Straw Hats have a purpose. And it's like in more ways than one. Like obviously they have their set roles, but there's also something else that keeps them going, whether it's Luffy inspiring them or like they have something else that they have to accomplish at the end of the day. Like Brook having to go back and see Laboon after hundreds of years. This man never forgot about that whale, and the whale never forgot about him. Come on, man. Are you a man if you don't want to see that reunion?
You're not a man. You're not a man. You're a horse. But yeah, but like that's something I have so much more appreciation for now, and I love it now. But I remember initially, I just thought it was like, oh, this is a cool like tie-in, but I didn't go crazy with it. If that makes sense. But now I'm like, nah, this was a really, I think I'm starting to agree with you. Like when I think of the end of an arc, I don't necessarily like to me. Like, I'll say this right. I have a problem with how Avatar, like Legend of Korra, I don't like how the conflict with Kuvira concludes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like
I
that's
agree
mid.
with you.
I don't have a problem with the literal ending of Asami and Korra walking into the spirit realm together and blah blah blah. Obviously, we know it continues in the comics, it's not the end
Yeah, that's fine.
with
That's fine.
Irene Cohen and blah 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 everything else, but. That's kind of like how I feel, like how I would look at it. Where it's like I don't actually have a problem with how like Moria and stuff went down, but like with the Kuma stuff, that's big. And then the way that we wrap it up, and then tie into something very important, like you said, it actually gives Brooke a goal. Like yo, there is somebody still left, and you have to live and come back around so you can make it to him, to Laboon, to see him again. Powerful. It's a very powerful ending to an arc. I think I might agree with you. I'm about to go through each arc in my head and think about it, but it's definitely I think it's up there as how the arc itself just terminates. Yeah.
Especially when you think about like how he was by himself for all those years on that ship, and then Luffy tells him that we met Laboon, because at the time they figured out that it was Laboon, but they didn't tell Brook that they knew who he was talking about until the end of the arc. And you start bursting out in tears, and you say he's thankful for being alive. Like, bro, that kind of stuff hits.
That hit me. That did hit me.
That's one of my favorite moments.
Yeah, that hit me. That hit me because something that I enjoy about characters who are kind of unkillable or immortal in a sense is their relationship with life. That's
Yeah.
always one of the most interesting concepts about it, like a vampire and whatnot. Like I'll just use like we know this show and manga about this shit, but let me just use Band for a second from the Natsu no Taizai. One thing I really liked about why he really wanted the immortality, the eternal youth, whatever, fountain of youth from the forest, was because he thought that he kind of almost didn't deserve to be alive and whatnot, and he thought that if he just lived long enough, he can find out why he should have been alive. Like, like their actual relationship with life itself is something that I always find very interesting. So, no, that's a powerful moment, man. It's like the fact that I lived this long and I still have a chance to see a Laboon, I'm thankful that I was able to be here today. Like, that's powerful. It hits. That shit moves me. It hits. I was moved. I also have to appreciate that it had a long expanded future arc. Laboon could def kick rocks when we first met him. Now I know better. Yeah, I feel that. He said Zoro lost, but like he's a bronze saint in the Sanctuary arc, man. They're getting their ass beat. That arc. Shit was crazy. Shit was crazy. Something in this arc that you're not a big fan of, that you didn't like. For me, Spider Monkey. First, I like apes. I don't fuck with spiders. I just reject that thing's being.
One thing I don't like.
Just reject.
Oh, I got one.
What?
Man, why Robin didn't finish Tactics 15, bro?
She said, "Nah, don't you ever in your sorry ass life ask me to fucking dog people niggas. What the fuck are you talking about?" She said,
"It's embarrassing as a human being."
Oh shit!
Oh my god, that shit was funny as fuck.
What a good. I always in my brain, I could be wrong, but I have to think about every moment with Robin. That's the first time for me where Robin had like a bit of a gag. Like her gag was to say something like, "Oh yeah, if they were all dead, the sea would be stained red." And Usopp's like, yo, chill. Usopp's like, yo, chill. You know? But like, she had the little like, meow. And when they had the Niku no Mi, she had like the little thought bubble of like the cat paws, and then her be like, nah, because by the time you get to Zoe with Ryunosuke and the drawings and stuff, in hindsight is even funnier because Kanjuro's a traitor. she's like crying, and people are like, what's going on with Robin? I'm like, yo, honestly, Oda had been slowly building to like getting her to be able to make all of those faces and gags because it took her a while, but it was there. The seedlings were there, and I think it starts to throw the mark personally.
Yeah, I agree with that, especially when you get to Wano and they read the newspaper when Luffy gets arrested.
I mean, that
That
face.
shit is fucking hilarious.
Or when they pretend to be like haunted by Brook across the bridge, and their like necks are like like four chins. Shit was funny, man. I remember because some people are really upset. They're like, "Oh, you're ruining Robin." I'm like, "Come on, dog, just laugh. Stop being a loser." Fuck.
It's One Piece, man.
Just stop.
Actually, to piggyback off of that, I do think that also Thriller Bark was just like in that arc. It felt like Oda was shifting. He was shifting the group around, like the groups around a lot to try to get like all the Straw Hats a little like. At least to me, it felt like he was trying to get all the Straw Hats a little bit more comfortable with Robin and Frankie, and then Brook of course too. But Brook was all kind of doing his own thing.
I can agree with that. But yeah. Oh, ahead, Adam. Something you weren't a fan of. The arc. I think you already said Absalom. We said he's mid, but something else. If you have anything else, or I'll go.
You can go. I'll try to think of something else besides Absalom.
So I guess my only issue it's kind of I guess it's sort of a nitpick, but my only issue with this arc it's kind of funny because it comes a little bit in hindsight, but anyways, my biggest issue was just that when I first was reading it week to week, and I have a problem with it because I actually thought the horror theme was appropriate and stuff, but it was actually the stuff with is her name, was it Cindy or Sindri?
Sindri-chan. Yeah.
I was unmoved, fam. I was not moved by that story. With him,
Breaking plates and stuff like that.
I was unmoved. So it's not even like, oh, this is bad. Oda, bad writing. Just like that shit did not hit me. I just said, bro, I don't care. I don't give a damn about this girl or this doctor. I don't fucking care. I only care that Chopper's mad. Or like, yo, I thought she was that dude, but you're not that dude. That's really it. I did remember my friend. I wanted to mention this because we talked about this recently because he was going to be here, but he couldn't. He has some construction stuff to do. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like how Zorro, Luffy, and Sanji lose their shadow and just wake up. I don't know. I guess how they lose their shadow. He doesn't like it. He didn't like that. I don't know if you guys had a problem with that. Cause wasn't there like spider monkey, spider mice?
Sportsman with meat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I guess that like a beautiful. So yeah, he's swordsman with meat, and they all woke up. I just laughed. So I don't know how anyone else in the chat feels about this. I have a general rule of thumb when something kind of like a little bit nonsensical can happen. It's fiction, and One Piece is already very zany. Like I tell people, nigga, automatons took balloons and rode to the moon. One Piece is wacky, okay? Like I hate when they try to apply this extreme hard real world logic when it's convenient for their argument, whether for or against something. Let's cut it out. But shit, what's up to like? I was surprised that like, I'm gonna use this example. When damn it, what was the name of the giants that Usopp met Enies lobbies that were something with the O? Fuck. Anyways, the name's not coming.
Fuck.
I know.
Kash and what was the other one? Damn, I only remember one of them. Was it Omoy or Cash?
I don't know, maybe.
Is that what it is?
Someone look it up. Someone tells in the chat. But so Usopp is in really bad condition due to all the things that was happening, right? But do you remember when they all met up? He just launched him, just threw him into the sky, and he lands. I actually remember people being mad. They're like, "Yo, he's already mad, super, super injured. You doing that, and he just gets up, is stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, yo, it's funny, though, so it's okay. Like, for me, if something like that happens, and it legitimately just makes me laugh, I'm not gonna harp on it. Or, it has to be very cool. If there's a coolness, humor, or a mixture of the both factor, I generally just be like, I'm not gonna harp on it. Because I laughed. It's okay.
Yeah, that is
Hey,
kind of something like stupid to get upset about, especially when Usopp got smacked in the head with a steel bat in Alabasta and got up right after that shit.
Yeah.
I was right. Let's go.
Omio and
Omoy and
Kashi.
Kashi.
Okay.
That's their
I
names.
just knew one side with the O, the one with the weird nose. I remember. The weird nose. I remember him. Alright, thank you. Thank you, Abdel. Yeah, One Piece's internal logic as it pertains to wackiness was an endearing feature for me. People being mad at OP for being wacky is not whack. No, I feel it because like it's like when people be like, when they saw Queen and they're very supporting the Queen's design, and it's like you're like 900 chapters to the story. You know what to
Oh,
expect.
bro, I don't understand. Look, before we got to Wano, we saw what
My guy,
Kinemon looked
Wolf
like.
Nara was
We
popping. My
saw
guy.
what Kanjuro looked like. We saw what Raizo looked like. What on earth led you to believe that everybody in Wano was gonna look raw? We have niggas from Wano with us. We know what they look like. Like, what are we complaining about?
This is supposed to be. This is supposed to be. This is supposed to be Emperor Crew. Why do you look so goofy? All I do is whine. Fucking loser.
It's honestly extreme intellectual dishonesty of the highest degree, and it really makes me mad because you're being obtuse on purpose. You're harping on something that is a staple to the series, and it's very disrespectful.
Yeah. So that's why those it'd be funny to me, and I still think Queen is raw. So Queen is still my favorite out of them. I said out of them. I don't know. King is raw. I don't know. He's raw, but they made me laugh at that stuff. How do you guys think the combat in this arc was? How do you like the fight? Like Ryuma versus Zorro, Nightmare Luffy versus Oars and I almost said Kuma. What the fuck is the nigga's name again? Shit. Moria. And even Luffy gets Moria in his Gear Second and Gear Third brings together. You know what I actually like about this arc too? I've got to talk about this. I like how they team up to fight against Oars and break his spine and everything like that too. I love that. I love that. That was really good. Frankie just building stairs mid-air? I don't know what heavy going strong. That's it. I don't know, man. It hits, man. It just hits. Like they're just building a stairway to heaven mid-air, my nigga. Like what? I should go. I don't care.
Nah, that's
That
just
nigga
funny,
Frankie
bro.
they were like, bro, we can't get across. We can't get across here because the bridge fell. They turned around and Frankie had a whole detailed ass bridge. I think it was like, give me 30 more seconds and I'll have this shit looking real nice.
You know why I like stuff like that? It reminds me. Something that makes me laugh because it's like, okay, I imagine if Frankie was a video game character, he'd be a slow, bruising projectile user. But it's like he's a shipwright. So it's like taking his secondary skills and applying it to combat. So he's just building shit mid-air. I love it. I just love it because it's like a secondary ability. But I thought the team fighting team dynamic against Oars and Moria was really good, especially them. Usopp trying to launch the big bag of salt into the mouth, and then them going for the legs. That action sequence is really good. When Zoro goes for the legs and Sanji stuff too, that's a really. I always remember how it was animated. That's a really good sequence. How they animated it, it was really good. Then the heavy gong together, blah blah blah. Then Luffy coming from the top, them trying to freeze him a little bit, and then breaking the spine. Because what they did is something that I really like. I love when certain stories get into certain types of classes of ideals, or I'm not sure what to call it, but let's get into it. Like being able to not feel pain, I would argue, is not a good thing. Because you don't know which
not.
parts of your body to protect. So because Oars like, doesn't hurt, doesn't matter, he's not actually taking in all the accumulative damage that's happening. Your spine is broken. Okay, you don't feel it. Nigga, if your spine is broken, you can't walk. Spinal. My back is broken. I broke my back, Mike Tyson. Okay? Can't do nothing. So I like that. I like when things like that happen. So I like the fact they're like, no, like him not being able to feel pain at all is actually working. It could work. You could use that against him. So yeah. Combat was great. More using shadows to emulate Luffy's rubber was so good. Even remember we turned into Sonic? That was crazy. He turned into a fucking ball.
You turn into a fucking ball.
Yeah.
I was like, nigga, what's going on? Like, that's one thing that makes me appreciate Moria because his mastery of his devil fruit to be able to warp the body structure of anything using their shadows is a pretty lethal ability.
Yep.
Do you think that like that no, he explained it. I was about to say, like, do you think it works best on like on zombies since they don't have like bones that could be fucking that would fuck them over completely, or if it just doesn't
Yeah,
matter? Like, if you use
I think it's zombies because like a regular human being, they probably die from their bones being broken like
They're
that.
going. they're,
know,
they're
so like
cracking
it
like
just
they have the
They
all.
be
clutch. So top 10 moments for the crew is we refuse. Two goat moments back to back. Oh yeah, that was a great moment. They're like, we refuse. And that's when he's like, okay then, nigga. Shook. I said, oh no, not like this, man. So yeah, only once like today you can feed the lost children of podcast. Oh man, them big ass fucking kids. Nightmare Luffy was also so random, but fun and great to watch. It's like a weird fever dream, but it works. I love Nightmare Luffy. Let's talk about that. Listen, man. That nigga just came. He stopped the punch. No. I said, oh.
That nigga said, "There's only one Luffy.
He said, it's.
That's me."
bro, that
Yeah.
man talking so slow. He like, oh that was monkey D. Luffy.
Oh my goodness. Nah, I still got Naya taking Twitter buns with a broken spine. Nightmare Luffy was raw. Like it was really good. But I like that moment a lot. I like how it was really animated, but I just like I kind of agree with myself. It's like a random little fun thing that they did but I think it was significant. I think it was just a cool moment, and it shows. I guess if you want to force some connection, it's just a testament to Luffy's overall willpower and his tenacity, because it's like most people can't really handle more than a couple or one shadow, and they threw 100 of them shits in Luffy. Now Moria was able to do 1,000, but he's supposed to be the master of shadows or anything regardless anyways. But Moria didn't even display any of the techniques and abilities that he got from the shadows he absorbed. That was something I forgot to bring up. That kind of shocked me, because remember Luffy used his sword and you're like, huh, nigga.
Yep.
You brain dead. You punch. You can't use the blade. Like Moria absorbing all of those shadows and still not displaying any like combat thing that some random guy. I thought that was a little bit strange, but I do also know he was pushed to the brink and probably not thinking straight. He just went like, I'm big as fuck now. I'm mad as shit. You're not in that form. Bring back black box. He's like, I'm rubber, nigga. I'm good. Hockey up, Moria. What's wrong with you? So yeah, Nightmare Luffy was raw. Sun God knows it's gonna shine through the darkness. Hey, Luffy's out here, man. Is there anything significant you think we didn't touch on?
When Sanji turned Super Saiyan, when he heard about what Absalom did to Nami.
Yeah, Nami was just getting horned out that whole heart in the shower. Absalom just like, oh, I'm invisible. But yeah, go ahead. Let's talk about it.
Bro, and it was like,
Nami's over.
hey, Sanji, you're not gonna believe this, but Absalom licked Robin. What? And then on top of that, he was groping Nami. He was like, he what?
That Lunarian DNA? I'm joking.
Oh my god, bro! When this nigga came into the wedding room, shit was so cold.
Yes.
They would beat this shit out of Absalom. You like, you stole my dream from me.
The dream lives, my guy. Sanji, never give up on your dreams, man.
You like, what the fuck you talking about, bro?
He's like, nah, we have personal beef. Like, who are you?
With the Thanos and the Scarlet Witch, and she was like, "You took everything from me." I think it's like, I don't even know who you are.
Like, legitimately, bro.
Oh, yeah, no, that was great. I guess we can talk about some of those like other zombie stuff or anything. How do you guys feel about like Lola and all that stuff? Now that we know about Lola, she formed the twins, and is his name Pound? Their dad's name is Pound, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Like, I found it interesting to revisit, knowing what I know now, but it didn't necessarily change my perception of the roles that they had in the arc. I think it worked good. I think that it's cool that it kind of translated to the real body with Nami talking with whatever. But excuse me. So, wait, Will of P? They said Will of P. Oh man, shout out to Pell. He really should be. He really should be dead. That shit's wild.
I
But
can't. I can't explain that. It's the one thing in One Piece I can't fully
I
explain.
won't even try to defend it. I'll just look at. I'll just put my hands up like, nah, you got that one, man. I agree with you. Think it was that nigga is dead in my heart. I think I saw him in a reverie. I said, nah, he's not there, bro. I didn't see that. I think I made my whole head. I didn't even remember if he was there. I think I did see him because obviously the dog guy Chaka. Shit, that's crazy. But anyways,
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I was talking about. Lost my point. What was I saying? Let's talk about Oris. What do you think about Oris?
We
Junior?
was talking about Lola and Pound.
Oh, yeah, they're cool. I don't remember what I was gonna say though. I lost my train of thought. You know how I am, bro. You know, my memory just shit. That's why. You know what it is though. I've been good today. Like, see, when I was going on tangents, I would write down what I was talking about, but I finally write it down this time, so I don't remember. I remember my point. I had a point.
Oh man.
It had to do with family, but I don't remember. But anyways, it is what it is. Oris. Not Oris Junior. Oris Junior is the one that we saw in Marineford. How do you feel about Oris? Did you? I'll start. The only thing I appreciate about it is just how it ties into like actually seeing his descendant. Like we actually did see that and stuff. That was pretty cool. And I don't know if I'm forcing these, and I'm starting to realize that Wano and Thriller Bark are connected in a lot of ways if you really want to think about it, because it's Wano.
Yes.
It's Wano where Ace makes the hat that protects Oris Junior from the sun, right?
Yes.
And then I'm just thinking about the fact that we saw like that's I just it's an interesting thought there. I don't know if I'm overselling that, but yeah, we out here. But go ahead.
Just to interject real quick, like just to go along with that is also in Thriller Bark is when the Straw Hats team up to fight against Oars, but when they see one of the continent pullers, like one of the continent pullers in Wano, also this, they're like, if we were as weak as we were back then, it would take all of us to beat him. But at our current level, it's only going to take just one of us, and we can knock him out in one hit. That's just another example of it coming full circle.
Fair enough. Sorry, I stepped away for a second. Just repeat what you said at the beginning and come to the end.
He said he was talking about the current arc right now. With they was finding numbers.
Oh, okay.
And they looked at the numbers. They're like, "Oh, you're just as big as Oris."
Ah, yeah. Yes. There's something with the sun. There's something with this. I had a force connection with the sun for some. I don't remember what I was gonna say though. I had a force connection, but I know it's force. Let me just stop. But does anybody, if anyone in the chat has any questions or anything in the arc we think we forgot to touch on or speak about, you can go ahead and do that. And if you guys think there's anything significant that we missed, let's mention it. I'm trying to go through everything in my head. I think all of the major important things I wanted to talk about. The giant shadows.
Hey,
Oh, yeah, they were like the Florian Triangle or something like that, right? That was also pretty dope, pretty cool. Florian Triangle. I know there's something. There's something important I'm forgetting to mention. I know I am. That's why I don't want to leave yet.
You know me. Everything that's funny in One Piece to me is important.
Yes.
So
Oh, yeah.
when Luffy put that zombie back
Back
into
into
the
the fucking
grave,
ground?
I lost my mind.
I'm gonna have to rewatch
This man-
it. Go ahead. Sorry.
He looked at the fucking zombie come out the grave, dropped his little catcher stick or whatever, walked towards him, put it back in the grave, like yosh. Like, I couldn't breathe, bro. Like,
It's an old man with a lot of wounds and bandages. No, it's a zombie. And the one time it's actually an old man with a bunch of wounds and everything. Oh, it's a zombie. No, I'm an old man. I'm like, oh my god.
Like, I don't know, man. That shit just too funny to me. Like, how you gonna put a zombie back into the grave?
He's like, no, I don't accept this.
Oh man, I love
Moria
that guy.
having a ship the size of the islands is insane to think about. Yeah, him having the biggest ship ever was really, really cool. I actually like that a lot. Like, I like cool ships in One Piece. So like, Thriller Bark is cool in that sense. The Sunny Go I think is cool because of the coup de burst. I love. Is it what's Beijing ship called, the Nostrilo Castro, something like that?
Yeah,
Castro's.
Nostro Castello.
Yeah, because it's amphibious. I'm sorry though. When he didn't slow down, that shit was going on land. That was gas. That was really cool. So to the
That
bark,
nigga Oven tried to step in front of it like a dumbass. He fucking got moved to the
like
side.
Oven, you're not that guy, pal. Like just calm down. All right, no, I appreciate you, but Thriller Bark was so many funny moments. Definitely one of my favorite arcs. I like to hear that. Are you speaking of which? I'm not telling you to rank the arc per se, but where would you kind of have it? Like, is it upper echelon, lower echelon, something? Oh shit, what's up, Jay?
What's up, gang?
Hey,
What's up?
What is going on, man?
I am now at full power. We have the two biggest Sanji fans in the world in here. Let's go.
Has to be done.
Shit. How you doing, man?
Doing good, brother. How you doing?
I can't complain. I'm alive. I'm breathing.
I'm breathing.
My body doesn't hurt that much, so it's a good day.
As it should be. Yeah, my bad. I was a little late. I had a previous engagement, so I'm here now.
He's out there slashing. We know about him. All right, so
Slashing.
He's out
What
there
that
slashing.
mean? What does that even mean?
Sid was here earlier. That's why I had to say that. So, but
Oh, fucking hate that.
all right, let's get your thoughts on some stuff with both Thriller Bark. You've been here for one of these already, so you know how it goes. But
Yes, sir.
I guess I'll just ask you. I'll just ask you a bunch of stuff that I asked earlier. Actually, no. I'm gonna start here. Because the first question that I asked everybody here, I want your thoughts on this, right? So when you initially heard that Kaido and Moria were rivals, right?
Yeah.
How did you interpret that? Like, how did you interpret that without really having too much knowledge about the two characters? And then how do you feel about it in hindsight, knowing how fucking monstrous Kaido is?
Wait. At the time, we didn't know that Kaido was monstrous. But I always assumed Moria was like one of those rivals, kind of like Crocodile was the Whitebeard or Ace was the Whitebeard, where he just kind of tried to take Kaido down, but he got folded like a lawn chair. Because he said Kaido killed all his crew.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm like, okay. So I was like, yeah. So I'm like, clearly you want to up the standard. Like that was my first intention. So I didn't take it too seriously. I thought, okay, Moria had a little clout here and there. He was probably a little strong, but I guess I always assumed he was like the fat Moria. So again, he survived it. So I assumed he was pretty strong, but I really didn't put too much stock into that.
Okay. The only reason that I say that is because I think I was one of the few people. Sometimes when I hear something like that, like the way that my brain works, it doesn't. I don't think I process it the way like the author intended me to do it. I think they wanted me to think that, but I'm like, I see it almost similar to like I say this. You could argue Kid and Luffy are rivals, but to me, they're not rivals in the sense that they're like someone said earlier. They're constantly crossing paths. But it's because anytime Luffy accomplishes something crazy in the media, Kid is probably somewhere in the grand line doing something equally as impressive. So from the outside looking in, it's like they're competing. It's like, oh, Luffy just beat Crocodile, well, Kid just did all the civilian damage and blah, blah, blah. So it's like they're competing almost in the eyes of the news and the media. So that's how I saw it. And now in hindsight, I'm like, no, this is a joke. Kaido would fold you, you fucking bitch-ass nigga. It's not a rivalry.
Yeah.
So that's how I saw it. Okay. How do you feel about this? So how did I frame this before? Because I was talking about the Ryuma stuff, right? Because Ryuma initially for me was a kind of an unassuming zombie. I just knew he was some strong samurai from some samurai island. I'm on Wano now. I know he's a sword god. I know Zoro's related to him. Is this moment at all recontextualized for you, knowing how powerful Ryuma is supposed to be?
Yes, just because we know the soul that was in his body was a Ryuma, and I think the power of the soul is more relevant than the body itself.
Okay.
So if it was actually Ryuma's soul and his body, I think Ryuma would have been broken. I think he would have folded Zoro. But
Do you know why I agree with you? I think about what Sanji was able to do in Nami's body, despite Nami's body not being that powerful.
But that's different.
That's fair.
That's different because it's shadows. If you look at Sanji, remember Sanji's shadow was in that little dog. But he had good kicks. But at the end of the day, that dog was a piece of shit. You could have folded that dog anyway. It's just that he had good kicking ability. That's about it.
No, what I'm saying is like I find if the person's spirit is in the body, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah,
it's better than it being vice versa, where it's like you have some lame in somebody who used to be powerful when they were alive. That makes sense.
that's true. Yeah, okay.
That's kind
I
of.
mean, I would say one of the contexts is you use Oars, for example. Oars was using Luffy's moves in his body, but I'm sure that Oars probably had special moves that probably made him even stronger than Luffy's shadow in that body.
I can agree with that. You never
So
know.
there's so there's I think there's drawbacks to it. Like if you have a strong shadow, sure it'll probably be good, right? So think about it. It's like the same thing with Big Mom's homies. If Big Mom has Luffy's soul as a homie, that homie will probably be really strong, but I don't think it'll be near the capacity of how strong Luffy really would be in his little body.
Okay, I can agree with that. Yeah. Miles said, if we agree all warlords are commander level, then Moria fighting him when assumed in shape and healthy is very impressive. I don't think him losing his crew is that crazy. It's just rare because most pirates aren't that bloodthirsty, so hearing it makes it stand out more. I would honestly surmise that he didn't put up the best of fights against Kaido. I'm sorry, Kaido's a monster. I'm not giving him credit. Like Oda was a monster too. He put him down, so I can't give him credit there. I don't really get into all that commander level stuff. It's not really something. It's not really a concept I personally believe in. So, but I hear what you're saying. Ora's doing Luffy's moves. Was Morio's doing? Yeah. He was making him. He's been in general. He was trying to do Gomu Gomu no stuff. But yeah, but Morio's manipulating the shadow to make him stretch and everything like that.
Yeah.
How do you feel the combat, the fights in the arc, in general? So Zorro, Ryuma, I guess the Spider Monkey. Cause I was talking about how I thought the team up against Oris was really good. That was really good. Frankie building shit midair, like shit like that. Like I thought it was really good. How did you feel with the combat in this arc? Shout out to Perona versus Usopp, bro.
Ironically, it really wasn't that bad. I think Sanji versus Absalom was kind of meh.
Absalom mid.
It was kind of meh.
It was comedy relief.
Brook versus the Spider was cool. Zoro versus Ryuma was brief but cool.
Yeah.
I mean the Oars team up was the best part.
Spinal.
Anytime I see antimatter kick course, you know it's ready to go, nigga. Like, come on.
Yes, sir.
Power.
Son, listen, bro. People swear Sanji can't beat big opponents. Look antimatter kick course, nigga, and shut your mouth. Like I tell you, if he uses it in Wano, bro, I'm out. I'm ascending. I'm gone. You're not gonna see me.
I put some fire on that, yo. Flaming antimatter.
Put some fire, nigga.
Yeah.
Like to this day. When Sanji used the antimatter kick course on that banana crocodile, niggas didn't know how raw Sanji was till they saw that. This nigga's kicking a giant crocodile. Just like, bro. And the thing is like, in soccer, you talk about volleys. No backlift, my nigga. No backlift. No backlift. No backlift, my nigga. They didn't see it coming, son. I'm like, okay. Man was standing still and kicked that bitch up. He said, fuck out of here. Listen. All I'm saying is, you got everything you wanted from the Oars team up. Nightmare Luffy was raw. Yes. Luffy versus Oars, mid. Luffy versus Moria, mid.
I don't disagree, but I was thinking about this like literally midstream. I'm like, do I put stock in the fact that he's never tried to use gear third and second in conjunction, but he did against Moria? Is that significant? Should I give Moria credit for pulling it out of Luffy? Like I don't. That's my only thing. But
he beat that nigga with a building, son. That's how you beat Moria, with a building. I'm like, all right, you got it. However, the Kuma, Zorro, and Sanji stuff was gassed.
Yes, sir.
That was gas.
To him.
That was gas. Because, to me, I have two Zorro moves that I will never not love. Shishi Sonson, and I think the Shishi Sonson we saw against Kuma is the best one he's ever used. Fuck the Alabasta one.
Beat that shit.
Fuck the
goddamn it.
Alabasta one. You didn't even.
What's the first thing I said? This might be better than the Chi Son he did against Dasmo. What's the
Because
first
you
thing I
didn't
said?
even see it. Because you didn't see it. But it's like it's the abrupt. It was so abrupt. Yeah. The moment he saw him pick up Luffy, Shishi Son, I'm like, oh, this nigga moving. He didn't do nothing.
And then Kuma's like, I'm a cyborg. I'm like, nigga.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing, but it was raw. It was definitely raw. I was like, okay. And it's like, I think I like Kuma in general because I think his power is so cool.
It's my favorite.
Like, it's so cool. I think like he is so underrated. Yeah. Kuma is washing so many niggas in the verse. People don't understand. They just don't get it. But the Zorro and Sanji and Kuma stuff is so underrated. And I think people really don't put enough stock into what we just saw there. Because Kuma is at the top. I think when you think about the warlords and the Shichibukai, we all thought they were bombs. But when you put it into when you list the names and the capabilities, Mihawk, strongest swordsman in the world, Doflamingo, Luffy had to use Gear 4 2 to 3 times just to put this nigga in the ground. And he had internal damage. Then you have Boa Hancock, Conqueror's Haki confirmed, knows all the Hakis. Her devil
second strongest woman in One Piece.
Second strongest woman in One Piece. Then you put Kuma. Like Kuma in his right mind, broken already. Mm-hmm. Crocodile. He lost to pre-gears Luffy. This nigga out here parrying Mihawk and Marineford. What are we talking about here? Right?
Top one. The greatest.
You see what I'm saying?
The best.
And then you have Jinbei, Warlord of the Sea, to the point where niggas in Wano, like, goddamn, these niggas got Jinbei? How many niggas do you need? So you have that. The only bum in there was technically Moria. And he's technically retired. Think about Moria as Carmelo Anthony right now. He got a good. I'm sorry.
Because
I didn't mean it to be disrespectful.
There's a Melo fan that you just.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, I don't mean it to be disrespectful, but it's like Melo is not the type of nigga to drop 30 every night. Moria probably in his prime was dropping 30 every night, but now Moria is a nigga that drops 15 on catch and shoot jumpers. Okay. You know what I mean? So like that's where he's at now. So the Shichibukai are serious. So then when you get the view of Kuma and you see him washing everybody, it's like, this is hype.
Yep.
So it's...
That nigga spitting. That nigga Jay spitting.
It's a lot, man. Like, Thriller Bark is very underrated.
Yeah, that much I agree with. I was kind of shocked that, like, I honestly thought I would get a little more contention in the chat, because I know when I was talking about the Davy Back fight, people were not trying to hear that, like, yo, skip this, we don't want R7. I'm like, nah, we talking about Nodo being nigga. Alright? That arc raw. I don't care what no one tell me. But
yeah.
I had one more major question that I think I asked everybody I want to ask you, but it's not coming to me right now. But I want to ask you this. Is there anything about this arc that you're not a particular fan of? Any critique? Even as a nitpick?
Hodgeback was mid.
Yeah. What did I say about the Sindri and the Hogback? That shit did not move me. I did not care.
Did not move. No movement. Absalom was mid. The Lola plot line served its purpose, but it didn't really hit me that much.
It means more in retrospect than it does in
exactly.
the first time.
Yeah, it means more in hindsight. You know, that he's just like, oh yeah, hindsight 2020, whatever, nigga. One Piece fans like to do that. Oh, but it mattered later on. No, that shit was still ass in the moment. Fuck you, nigga. That's my mentality. Cut it out. It's ass. The comedy was great.
That's for sure.
Comedy was great.
It's the second funniest arc in One Piece for me, behind Sky PF.
Sky P is funny as hell. Thank God you said that. Sky P is so funny, nigga.
Sky P is so fucking funny.
Oh Lord. Nah, but I would say the only things I didn't like is I didn't care about Absalom, I didn't care about Hodgeback and Sindri, and the Lola plot. Yeah, the Lola plot line didn't really mean anything to me. Outside of that, the rest was okay. The rest was good. It was like I would range it from like a 6 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10. I don't think anything was really a 10 out of 10, except for the Kuma stuff.
To be honest, though, if you would pass the faces, even Jinbei could have put him down. Moria also took a lot of hits from Luffy. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think Mario's weak or anything like that to that degree. I just think that his laziness and his idea to try to use zombies. Oh, I kind of remember what I'm about to say now. Actually, just before I get there, just talk to me real quick. How did you feel about Gekko Moria as an antagonist for this arc? Because I was speaking about how I felt like Kuma looming to me was always more dangerous than whatever Moria was concocting. Like
It was more. Go ahead.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
No, so Kuma was definitely much more of a fearsome opponent and antagonist. I think the shadow plot line
Okay.
gave me enough dread and
The sun,
danger
fair
in the
enough,
arc.
the sun.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fair.
with the sun and the fear of everything being over. That was enough for me. So I think it was more Moria's powers than Moria himself.
Do you like his ability?
I think it's really cool. I think there could have been a lot more done with it too,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's a really cool power. I just think Oda went in a different direction in using shadow powers than I thought he would.
Mm-hmm.
Brickbat was raw though, nigga. That's my shit. Brickbat.
I was like, oh man, too many.
The laugh was top tier. I won't lie. The laugh was top tier.
It's up there. It's one of my favorites. Mine will
It's
always be
up
Foxy. I don't know what it is. Every time I hear it, I start chuckling every time.
He's
It's my
just an
ringtone at one
asshole,
point. My
man.
ringtone. I hear it. Peep. People like turn that shit off. Like nah, bro.
Oh my god! I'll tell you what. As an old school One Piece fan, I have such fond memories of Long Island Dogs.
So do I.
So such fond memories, son. Come on.
I was speaking earlier about. I was speaking about it earlier. I'm like, it's actually kind of funny to me. I'll just go on this tangent as fast as humanly possible. For the people who really, really care about power scaling, I'm like, this is one of the most important arcs that actually kind of highlight how One Piece combat works. It's not crazy nuanced, but it's more nuanced than some people will give it credit for. Luffy beats 2 back-to-back, Logia users, blah, blah, blah. Eneru and a crocodile. Why are you struggling with Fox Steve? I'll tell you why. First of all, you're fighting on his terms. He's sneaky, he's conniving, and he's cheating. And you're fighting on his ship, his environment. Luffy is kind of dumb. You're using that against him. And the Nor to me is not a bad ability. It's a combination of all those things that gave him trouble. Is Luffy really weaker than this guy? Of course not. But the fact that he had all those things going for him, it gave Luffy trouble. So and then people argue there's no stakes. And I'm like, common mistake you guys make sometimes. You think that if whatever is happening right now doesn't have major ramifications in the One Piece universe, it doesn't matter. What does Nakama mean to Luffy and everyone else there? It's very important. It's a central theme here, the friendship theme, Nakama. So if Luffy loses one of his crew members, whether it's through death, a game, whatever, he's livid. He's pissed. So it still matters. The stakes are still high. You may not care about Chopper, nigga. I know you don't care about Chopper. That's why you're probably quiet. You don't give a fuck.
We don't.
You don't care about Chopper. But Luffy cares. You see what I'm saying?
To be fair, Chopper wasn't actually bad. He wasn't bad in Long Island. I don't
Who
think
are
he was bad
you?
at all. I mean, listen, people think I do hate Chopper. I do. But there's
Okay.
moments where I can stomach Chopper. I could stomach Chopper in Ennis Lobby and Drum Island and Long Island. That's about it.
Hey,
I had to make sure I was
shout
paid
out to
for
the
a
best
second.
doctor in the series.
Hey, yo, QB Rush, though?
Megaton kill me. Let him beat man. I fucking love that shit. The referee looked away. I didn't see that. What happened? Bro, stop cheating. Shit was so gas, bro.
This nigga's hideous, son.
Oh shit. Luffy hates being alone more than hurt, so the loss would be heavy. There's that too. When you think about what happened with Ace and Sabo, that's a good point. That's a good point, right? I didn't think about that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But Moria. Oh, I read that already. But yeah, it's funny because like that arc is actually very significant for the very reason a lot of people claim they don't like One Piece. Oh, I don't care about the combat. I'm here for the adventure and the truck and all that. And all you guys maybe talk about his fights. Hate y'all. Anyways, how did you feel about Brook? Oh, that's the question I wanted to ask. How did you feel about Brook initially? The reason why I asked this is because I never disliked the character Brook, but when Brook was when Brook like joined the crew, I wasn't with it. I didn't want him on the crew at all. He grew on me, but originally, my thought process like we have Zorro, so we don't need your swordsmanship, nigga. Shit weak, a weak ass Kane. Take that out of here. In hindsight, it became Kane Raw. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Kane Raw, but I was like, I had to be like what 15? Like I was a different nigga back then. And then I'm like, he can't die. That's cool. but he kind of can't swim for no reason. Now he can manipulate his soul, so he can use his power. But at the time, he couldn't do that. And in my head, I'm like, okay, you're the musician. You know, Luffy, like Pat said, we know Luffy wanted a musician from Time G, but I'm like, we have Frankie. He had his little ukulele. You know what I'm saying? He a robot. He can get some synths inside him, some beats. Just play some.
Get that nigga some tea instead of cola. He gonna play the right tunes.
Yeah, nigga could turn himself into a fucking DJ booth. Like, bro, do I need Brook? But he grew on me. But how do you feel about Brook initially?
He was alright. I guess he was kind of funny. I liked his laugh. I think Brook's introduction was hilarious.
Oh, yeah,
The introduction of Brook was hilarious. You know, bro, son. You know what? I gotta talk about, nigga. When he saw Nami, nigga, the fucking game the nigga put on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Spit shine the shoes a little bit. Fix the bow tie. I said, this nigga out of line. He said, beautiful. Nigga, that shit be screaming.
He said, "Yo." He said, "Yo." Let me see the patty, little nigga.
This thing game. He really trying to put game on like Brook ain't seen a joint in 50 years. He's like, all right, it's my time, nigga. I said, Brook.
He's like, shit, hold on. My hair looking good? Yes, sir. Yeah. All right.
Bow tie on fleek. All right, shoes shining. All right, let's move.
Oh, shit. No, I feel that. I felt that. That really was like he was in jail and he came out like, oh, shit. Hold on. She kind of bad. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo.
He said, let me move in. Yeah.
He's like, do you poop? That shit bad. I don't know. That shit was funny. It really was.
Yeah, so he was cool, bro. Brook was cool. I think
Undead Mackin, I like that.
Brook was never anything more than cool to me. But the backstory hit hard.
Yeah.
I'll say that. The backstory hit hard, and I think I want to say the best, but one of the best moments is when he stopped playing and he said, I'm so glad I'm alive. I was like, yeah, that one hit.
Sir.
That moment hit for me. I was like, let's hit it. Because I understand. It's like hearing that you've been wishing you were dead for 50 years, only to realize that you're happy to be alive. I'm just like, yeah, it was good. Like that's like the essence of One Piece, is getting you with the right moments at the right time. So it was good.
Yeah. I was saying that I appreciate that kind of when that stuff happens, because I like when characters who can't die or immortal, whatever the case is, pseudo immortals. What's always interesting with them is their relationship with life.
Yes,
that's why that moment hits a lot for me. Pat said this earlier. I think I agree with it. The more I think about it, I don't know if I'm fully there yet. I have to think about it off screen. I'm off screen already. But do you think that this is one of the better conclusions to an arc? I'm not necessarily saying the climax in terms of the battle of what happened, but just how the literal arc concludes with the Laboon, like with the Kuma stuff leading into the Laboon and Brook and Brook backstory. Like, how do you feel about the conclusion of this arc? How it wraps up?
I think it was very strong. Honestly, I think the ending was strong. I think ending with Kuma, nothing happened.
Yep.
Brook joining the crew, the backstory, the callback to Laboon. I think it was a strong finish. You know, banquets with One Piece always do hit.
Yeah.
But I think having the emotional moment within the banquet is rare that we get, because everyone's normally happy. I think the only thing I can relate it to is Robin seeing Aokiji in the middle of the banquet at the end of Venice Lobby.
Okay.
That was also a very good moment. It reminded me of that moment as well. Like, okay, it looks like you finally found a place where you belong. That hit to me. So I think Thriller Bark ended on a high, in my opinion.
Oh, also one thing I forgot to say earlier when I was talking about how great the ending was with Sanji and Zorro and how their relationship is one of the best. When those two members of Lola's crew, they saw what had happened, and they was going to tell the rest of the crew like what went down. Mm-hmm. And Sanji pulled them up to the side and he was like, hey man, don't tell them niggas what Zorro did. Yeah. He did that shit of his own accord. He a man. And they over here like, hey, well, yeah. He was like, why don't you want them to tell? You was looking cool too. He was like, hey, it's a code of a man.
But
Oh my
that's
god.
that's what I'm saying. People don't know. Like people swear. I'm like, yo, Zoro stands me shitting on Sanji. I'm like, Sanji be riding for Zoro. You a bitch ass nigga if you slandering Sanji, bro. Like y'all don't
They
understand.
son,
It's
Sanji
niggas
be
don't know,
riding
man.
for Zoro, bro.
it's
Zoro and Sanji ride for each other. They do it all the time, but they never notice that shit. It
I
makes me
just don't
so.
understand what they're reading because I'm like they don't hate each other. What is wrong with you guys? Like
They
you guys,
don't.
they misinterpret the relationship all the time. It's a
All the time.
rivalry, yes, but there's nothing but respect there. Nothing but respect.
Like Zoro respects the shit out of Sanji. Like it's serious. Like he legitimately respects him. Like I
Exactly.
don't know how much more they need to see, bro.
Like that moment in Thriller Bark is a good indication of that too. You know, where it's like Zoro does what he does because it's like, nah, man, he needs you. You know, and he puts him.
Mm-hmm.
And after he's like, I'll take my head instead because yo, if you don't take my head, I'm just gonna tell you about me. I'm about to become the world's best swordsman, nigga. I'm saying, like you know, he said if I'm going out, I'm going out beating my chest. I said I respect it.
He said hitting the pink on, you know what I'm saying, nigga?
I don't think anyone that thinks they hate each other have ever had close friends. It's just that too, because like I remember how this started because this would let's get into this. Why not? We here. I have a problem when people try to take two situations that have a very similar surface level similarity, an overlap, and then try to say it's the same thing. This is how I feel about the KD and LeBron stuff. With KD
Okay.
going to the Golden State Warriors is not the same thing as LeBron going to Miami.
It's never
Not the
been.
same
Nowhere
thing.
near.
On the very
Nowhere near.
surface, yes, but when you dive into the minutia, you go under the sea a little bit. There's a little bit of depth. You find why it's so vastly different. So when people try to conflate the Usopp moment when he quit, disrespected the captain, did what he did, when Luffy accepted resignation, to what happened with Sanji. And like, oh, when Zoro sees him, he gonna make him apologize. He gonna kill him. What story are you reading?
That shit was so fucking.
That's
stupid.
5 piece. PEACE. What the fuck are you reading?
Hey, and what happened? Wano, Zoro, and Sanji met up. They never even spoke
Ain't
about it.
nothing happened.
Hey, what else niggas told me? They said when Zoro find out that Big Mom and Wano, he gonna get mad at Luffy. He didn't say a word about it. Why? Because Zoro not the type of nigga to make excuses for his misfortunes. These niggas don't even understand the niggas that they be fucking trying to stand and worship as God.
Talk to them, nigga.
That nigga
If
Zoro said a
Zoro
long
get
time ago,
blindsided,
we're
he
not
gonna be like,
playing
what?
pirates.
Damn, I let my guard down.
Yep.
That's all he gonna say.
What do you say, Alan?
Niggas come make a million excuses.
I said that nigga Zoro told them a long time ago, we're not playing pirates no more.
Yeah.
We're just not playing pirates, bro. So like all that bullshit about he's gonna be mad for this and that, like nigga, none of that shit matters because at the end of the day they're gonna have to fight the emperors anyway.
And there it is. Yeah, they make me laugh sometimes. 'Cause I just genuinely wonder if like, are you just like not reading? Like, are you just not reading the story? Like, I don't know. I don't know how people misconstrue the relationship that badly. Like to the point where like I even remember, is it the third movie, the Chopper one, where they're fighting the swordman and the guy with the kicks? And he's like, listen, man. I deal with somebody who kicks her waist, man. Like, you think you a nice swordsman, man? It's like, no, like they respect each other. That's non-canon, but still, like the people who made that movie and whatnot understood the relationship.
Yeah,
so,
it's on line with what they would say in a regular series.
Exactly, and they work together very well. Do you remember when
Hey, all the time.
they were in the Dave back fight? Like, all right, enough of this.
Yeah, he said, "Cook, let me in hand
Yeah.
for like 5 seconds." You're like 5 seconds. All right, that's enough time.
Like, bro, I don't know, man. I get it because like they're rivals, but they're still brothers, man. And any time an external force is coming against Luffy and them, they will ride together. This is why one of the things that I kind of hope if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to be upset. But I kind of hope with this battle with Sanji and Queen and King and Zoro is that they stay in close proximity. And they continue to do still little things to help each other to try to like, you see, I helped you twice. You were paying attention, and after you come, like, I hope they do that a bit more. The bridal claw and stuff, that was cool. I like that. So yeah, they truly are the wings of the PK. That's a fact. They're nothing like war. Facts. Which two members of the Straw Hats have the funniest banter in all opinions? That's a good question.
Zoro and Sanji.
Zoro and Sanji be having me fucking dead.
Son,
These niggas take the
Long Red Long
smallest
I don't
Island.
shit.
know. Usopp and Luffy be having me cracking up. Hold on.
Son,
This is. I'm not
son.
saying you're wrong, but go ahead.
No, oh, see, you're not wrong, but for
You're
me,
not.
Long Ren Long Island, son. The boxing these niggas were doing over this small nigga, full on boxing Sanji and Zoro, dog. I could not believe what I was seeing, dog. I could
Bro,
not
if
stop
I
laughing
talk
at that
about
shit.
stuff, I'm the bald man. I look handsome. Be like, yeah, you look handsome, all right. The handsome bald man of idiots.
And I'm
Niggas start
screaming.
scrapping.
Next thing you know, they scrapping like full on. My man doing out here party table cake course with this nigga. Zoro not using no swords. I'm like, nigga.
Oh shit! Nah. I love their. I love
Bro,
their
they started
dynamic.
making fun of each other started boxing.
Yo,
That shit had me rolling.
Action, and also, you know what technically counts? It counts. I guess it can count for Usopp and Sanji as well. When Zoro left Sabaody and he was gonna go on the walk, and Sanji
Oh,
and
bro.
Usopp was like, "Yo, where you nigga?"
He's like,
He
you will get
said,
lost.
Zoro-san, Zoro-kun, where are you
Zoro
going on your own?
what you want? That nigga said, "Don't believe in yourself." Ask for direct. Niggas had me screaming. They was cooking that nigga Zoro.
No, don't believe in yourself. Not the part. That's
That shit
that
took
part.
me out,
That
my
part.
nigga. I could not breathe, son. I said, "Don't believe in yourself." God damn.
Oh, this shit that had me dead. Zoro like, nigga, there's fucking numbers on the trees. Who the fuck gonna get lost out here? They like, oh. I
Oh,
didn't
you
think
thought this
so far
through?
ahead.
Wow, you thought this through? That's wild.
They're like, oh, he's not brain dead. Congratulations.
Oh, nigga. Oh, nah, bro. That shit is funny.
No,
as hell.
y'all might be right. I'm just saying. I definitely Luffy and
yeah,
Usopp
I respect
had
that
me
choice,
cracking
though.
up. But Usopp is just a funny nigga in general.
Usopp is funny as hell, bro.
Luffy too, but still, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing I like the most about Usopp. You pair him with any straw hat, he's gonna be hilarious.
But I always loved like it's not funny, but for some reason I've always loved how Sanji could calm down Chopper. I don't know what it is. I always loved it, and even Usopp to a degree. But I remember one day we was freaking out about Robin. He said, you forget a woman's tears, wring the shirt out, walk out the water. That was dope. And recently with like he's been beaten. What are we gonna do? Blah, blah. He's like, yo man, calm your ass down, nigga. You'll be alright. Telling Usopp, what can you do here? Like, what can you do that I can't do? Like I like the calming presence that he could have with some of the other characters. So, but yeah. Anything? I'm trying to think of anything. How do you feel about how do you like the Usopp versus Perona fight? Because we kind of started there a little bit. How do you like that fight?
I liked it. Actually, I liked it.
Because Sin was talking about how he thinks it's a really good moment for Usopp because it's like his relationship with himself, and like he basically said that in a lot of ways basically said that we're an insert for Usopp. Usopp is like the most regular human on the ship. I always say him and Nami are kind of like the most regular people on the ship, and that him like putting the mask on to try to like summon a certain level of courageousness by kind of adopting the Soki King moniker and stuff was like a really good moment. So we really likes that stuff. So just to kind of frame it. Go ahead.
I saw it differently. I saw Usopp as it's finally the moment where he can really be himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, I can be somebody by being who I am. Bet you in trouble. Like this nigga's like Usopp. Like you saw. Think about. I think the best way to put it is imagine that you're in Dragon Ball Z, and you're a Saiyan, and you getting folded because this person is really strong against Saiyans. This person is extremely weak against humans.
Mm-hmm.
So Krillin pull up and said, "It's my time to shine. I'm gonna fuck you up."
Yeah.
And Krillin just whoop that nigga's ass. That's how I saw Usopp with Perona. Oh, bet. You only good against niggas that are scared? Say less. I'm scared all the time. What's good? Like,
I'm always negative.
What's good, nigga? Like that to me, it was like Usopp's. It was like the perfect situation for Usopp to be himself and win like the way he is. Because if you look at Arlong Park and you look at most of Usopp's fight, it's normally him being really scared and then him overcoming his scaredness to be brave in the moment he needs to be. In this case, he didn't need to be brave at all. He said, "Yes, sir. It's just me, nigga. I'm just scared all the time. Fuck you." So it's just like,
Bro, we didn't even talk about like Perona face when she found out her ghost not gonna work on her.
bro, she just could not believe what was happening, son. And the way he beat her, I'm like, the hammer, the 10-ton hammer, it looked like an
He
actual
said,
10-ton
"Ooh,
hammer. Joe was a
whoa, whoa,
balloon.
whoa, whoa, whoa."
Yeah, I fucking love that nigga so much, bro. He's so funny.
It's funny as hell, bro.
Usopp, why you Tarzan? This is Skypea. Why you Tarzan? It's just so funny.
When this nigga said I'm always negative, and Perona was like, "Come, buddy, fight, you can do it." He's like, "Stop trying to cheer me up."
Yeah, like I said that moment's significant because no one else. Perona was a huge threat on Thriller Bark. No one else would have been able to beat her. We do have the hindsight now that with Conqueror's hockey or hockey to a certain level, certain things like that won't work. Because we were talking about like a little bit like we also thought maybe Sugar and Perona could fight anybody, but with Lost Statement, how he's unable to move them because their hockey is too strong. If it happened now, it'd be different. But at the moment, Usopp was the only person who could beat her. Because Pat brings up the moment where Zoro's like, "Huh, this only worked because you guys are always carefree." You get hit by the ghost? He's like, "I wish I was never born." I said, "Yo, no one is exempt. She's a fucking problem. These ghosts are not safe. Their ghosts are a problem, nigga. Do not fight her." So, shout out to Usopp, man. But I just said this, Jay. This is just another instance to me where I like Usopp's courageousness because I say like Luffy is fearless, and fearlessness to me isn't the same thing as being brave. It's like it's literally the absence of fear.
Yeah.
So it's he stands his ground the most and plants his feet in the ground when he needs to the most. So I like that shit. So yeah.
The reason I respect Usopp a lot, is because this is something I had to learn, and I'll try to keep this as vague as possible, but I'll put it in the context of I'll put it in I'll give a good real life example. Mm-hmm. Say you're a dude that's really shy, and you want to talk to a girl. There's guys.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
There's guys that are really confident and just shoot. They shoot like J.R. Smith. They just pull off from anywhere. It don't matter. Mm-hmm. Niggas just pull off.
Even I pump fake and think about it.
That's what I'm saying. But like, it takes a lot for a guy who is genuinely really shy and unconfident to go out of his way to walk up to a girl and just say, "Hey, I think you're pretty. Can I have a date?" Niggas won't really look at that and think, "Oh yeah, he might get rejected." Niggas look at that like, "Oh yeah, all right, yeah, he ain't got no game." To me, when I see that, I'm like, that took a lot of guts.
Yeah,
that took a lot of courage to do something like that, and he's gonna get better from it. That's how I see with Usopp. Mm-hmm. It took a lot for him to stand up in that situation, and he did it anyway. It's just like you have to. With Usopp, you got to see a little deeper to understand who he is.
Yes.
You got to look beyond the surface. You can call him a coward, call him a bitch, whatever. When he stands up, in the moments he stands up it takes so much courage to do that. You just understand, wow, this guy is really doing it.
That's why he's brave.
And it's not even that. When you holler at a girl, you're going to live. So you can survive that. This is life or death stuff this nigga's standing up to.
He said he going to live.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, if a girl says, "No, fuck you, you ugly," all right, you get hurt for a little bit, cry for 2 weeks, nigga, you get over it.
2 weeks?
All right, come on. Bro,
the first time.
I can't think about it. I'm about to say, if you shy and a girl says you ugly, nigga,
I got rejected, my world was distorted. I said, "Am I ugly?"
It be hurting, cuz.
But for me, it was a little different because I'm used to getting yes. So I was like, wait, what's going on here? Something was different.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways. Really good point, though. I forgot to say. 100%.
That's it. That's really it, man. Yeah. It's just the courage is awesome. I respect Usopp's courage so much.
Yeah.
And
when Usopp tells Usopp he's proud of him, it'll be one of the best moments in One Piece. Oh, that'll be
He said, "Wow, my son's a brave man of the sea." Oh yeah.
I'll snipe that nigga. Crying. Hold on. Yes, sir.
The street's crying. The street's crying for that one. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie.
But that's my one of the reasons why I've always liked Usopp so much, because it's just like he embodies like Zeppeli's. Zeppeli and I have the same idea of what it means to be courageous. Thank you for the follow. To be courageous, where it's like It's actually if you are fearful and overcome that. It might, like I said, it might look ugly. His nose is running, his legs are shaking, might piss himself, but he stands his ground when it matters the most, and I respect that every time. You know, it's still raw to see Luffy just jump in head first and do it, but he's fearless. It's a little different. So, it is what it is. But is there anything else? Anything else in particular? I think I need to ask you. I'm trying to think because we went through a lot of stuff. If anyone has any questions in the chat, you can ask it now. If forever hold your peace, we can wrap this up. Actually, I want to talk about the last chapter for a little bit while I'm here. Kind of got a chance to talk about it on stream, but I don't remember what happened. Oh, the twin dragons. There we go. Yes. Oh my god, I still have to say that. I'll say this again. Roger's thumbnail was... I'm so mad I didn't think of that before him. I love Double Dragon. Like, I love that game. And he had the twin dragons from Momo and Kaido. I'm like, ah!
I'm gonna look at it now.
Ah! That was an elite thumbnail. So shout out to Roger's Wish for that. But,
I see it, yeah.
No, I love that chapter because... well, first of all, we're getting a dragon battle. This shit raw. Momo big as shit now. This shit is cool. But everyone knows that Luffy's alive, so a lot of the morals and stuff, they're reinvigorated. But the thing that I liked about it a lot was just that Momo is still very much a kid. Similar as a kid. Because I was saying, one of the reasons that I think that this moment, I think Oda wants to do this and make him like 28, is so he can kind of reverse the gag. Where Momo's like an 8-year-old or whatever. But he see them stanging, he like, yes, sir, I'm trying to get to the bath with the bitches, you feel me? And after now, it's going to be like, you're a grown-ass man. Stop acting like a fucking kid. And like, it's exactly what's happening already. It's like, Luffy's like, nigga, open your fucking eyes. What the hell are you doing? So I was like, I'm here for that, so.
First moment, that nigga tried some pervy shit and Robin and Nami slapped that nigga upside his head.
Can I be honest with you?
Go ahead.
I don't give a shit about Momo being a dragon. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, I don't care about him being a dragon. I care about Luffy's on him.
That's the thing.
Go ahead.
But that's the thing. It didn't do nothing for me.
Oh, you were hype. Okay, fair enough.
I was not hype. I was like,
he was
unmoved.
unmoved.
Cool.
That shit didn't move him.
I was unmoved, nigga. Because to me, Momo being a kid is something I enjoyed the courage that he had to show as being a kid. Like the shit with Kanjuro, bro. Mm-hmm. Trying to escape and that nigga Kanjuro folded him up like that was evil. That shit was terrible. And then he still had the balls to announce that he was the son of Odin on the cross. I'm like, yo, Momo's really showing me who he is. Now he gets older, he turns into a dragon. I'm just like, damn, I don't really care no more, dog. Like it's kind of he's still a kid, but you're a big ass dragon now. I don't really care too much. I think it's the perception. You know, when you see him small and vulnerable, you kind of like.
No, I didn't want him to get bigger. So I actually agree with you.
It's like you respect his. You respect him. You respect his courage more when he's like a kid. Mm-hmm. Now he's a big ass dragon. It's like, nah.
He could at least look the part now, if anything.
Yeah, he should look the part. So him being nervous and he's a big ass dragon, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. This is stupid. Like, just that comes out of here. I'm like, man, if I'm a big ass dragon, I'm breathing fire everywhere. If I'm 8, nigga, I'm breathing fire. Just fucking go wild. So I'm like, now it's like it's not hitting for me no more. So the Yamato stuff, raw, fine. But Momo, the dragon, Luffy appearing on the dragon, niggas comparing that to Naruto appearing in the Pain arc. I'm like, One Piece fans are pathetic. Yes. I have to call out One Piece fans. I have to do it.
Bro,
I'm sorry. I gotta call them out. I have to call them out. Because I'm fucking tired.
Know how to appreciate what we're getting without comparing it to something else.
That's what I'm saying. Naruto fans are
hold on. Sorry, real quick, Jay. What would you rate this arc? Sorry, this up before I forget. Thriller Bark.
Thriller Bark.
Yes. Sin gave it an 8, right? 8.
So. 7 out of 10. I feel is a fair comparison. 7 out of 10. 7.5 for the comedy. So I guess 7.5.
Okay, so me and you have the same score then. 7.5.
Mm-hmm. Pat? It's not gas by any means, but it's just a solid arc. I think it's a solid. It does what it needs to do.
Mm-hmm. Pat?
Hey, you know me. Comedy is paramount.
Hell's Memories.
So just off the comedy alone, it's an 8.5.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Alan?
I'll give it an 8.
Sorry, now continue. Go ahead. Now I'm gonna make.
I feel like 8's a little high, but then again, it is people's
I
opinion.
was gonna be the guy and go like 7.8, but I'm like I won't do that today.
So here's my problem, and here's been my problem with One Piece fans for a while. Y'all suck the dick of this series so fucking hard that you think everything Oda does is fucking gold. Everything Oda does is not fucking gold. Please read other manga, read mediums, please. Momo and Luffy on a fucking dragon has nowhere near the relevancy that Naruto appearing in that paint arc has. Nowhere near. 2,000 niggas like that post. I said there's 2,000 retarded niggas. 2,000. I don't care if I get cancer. Mentally challenged.
Hold on.
No.
It's just raw.
But here's the thing. Raw? There's a difference between raw and emotional weight. There's no emotional weight behind that moment when Momo being on Luffy's back.
Just
none. Zero.
Are you talking about the
just real quick? So based on our scores, Thriller Bark, the Saga gets a 7.9.
Okay.
So that would be the final score.
He said the Saga. All right.
Saga. Well, remember, just ranking the Saga, but remember, Thriller Bark has one arc for the Saga. So the Saga gets.
You're a fraud. You're a fraud, nigga.
What are you talking about? this is the part of the stream.
Just say the arc. Oh, you're funny.
This is the Saga and the arc. I'm joking. Go ahead. I'm done now. All right, we good.
Nah, but seriously, I'm just. This is the biggest gripe I have with One Piece fans, man. They just take.
I won't even begin to compare those things. So like the comparison is cooked from the start. I'm not moved by this.
Oh, you're talking about the comparison?
Yeah, and it's like
it's no like way you can say that. I mean, look, everybody know me. I don't got nothing nice to say about Naruto no more.
Yeah,
but
sucks.
Come on now, when Naruto showed up to fight Pain on Gamabunta, come on, man, come on.
That's raw.
I was unmoved until you were saying on that one body. Then I was moved. That was. I always say this. That's the only time I ever liked Naruto. Kind of. I'd never liked that nigga from the jump. But I'm like, okay, you're kind of cool today.
So it's like, I mean,
they kind of cool today.
Well, I'll just say it like this. My problem with One Piece fans is they like to overhype everything. Hype the moments that deserve to be hyped, but don't act like everything that you read in One Piece is big fiction, please. Because it's not, and we know it's not. You gonna tell me the Scabbard's are good characters? Yeah, all right, nigga.
They not?
Ashura Doji is? Shit.
Ashura Doji is good, but that's about it. Nobody.
Hey, Kawamatsu not a good character.
No, Kawamatsu, is he a character, nigga? What's
Kawamatsu? What are we doing, Jay?
What's his personality?
He was protecting Hiyori for all those years.
That's a personality? That's a personality?
Yeah.
Hey, fish nigga, sumo.
No, you're wrong. You know you're wrong. You know it. You know you're wrong. You know it. Kawamatsu has.
I liked Kiku until she was a fucking idiot. So
there you go.
Now I hate her.
Hey man, that shit did not sit right with me.
I was like, you know what? No, good for you. Die. That's what you get.
No, bro. Like I just went back and reread the beginning of the raid, and then Kiku was telling Kiyomon that if he wasn't ready to strike down the traitor, then none of them would be ready to. I'm like now looking at that shit going back. I'm like, bitch. Man, how dare you even fix your lips to say that shit, and then when it's your turn to fucking kill the traitor, you can't do this shit.
Hold on. That's the dumb comparison. That's a fact. Zodiac, nothing happened. Kerry, Thriller Bark, Cap, Jay, that Berserk fans do. Jake. Berserk fans do that too. What's the difference? Sound like a true fraud.
Berserk is actually gas, but that's up to you, King. You do what you got to do.
Wait, hold on. What's with the actually? What's going on?
Listen, man.
I like getting on Jay's nerves, right?
I know how. I listen. No, Berserk, it exists. You know, it's cool. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Everybody got right to their opinion first.
2 times prior to that, Naruto pulled up repping his set. Best entrance is Ramen Guy filler episode. Shikamaru the Goat. Jason pent up anger. Jay just featured himself. I know it's just funny. Oh, okay. No, like the rage that Jay, not rage, but whatever you have towards the community is something that I feel. I just feel in a different way. The way I feel is different.
The community pisses me off all the time. So.
the good and bad thing about the fact that no one cares about anything that I have to say about One Piece is that I could just step away and no one checks for me. So I don't have to see this shit. I don't have to engage. Like with you, like you're kind of in the thick of it. So and plus you're a huge Sanji fan, so I know they'll Sanji do anything
Into the thick of it.
and they'll overanalyze any and everything that he does.
Shut up, nigga.
So I'm kind of disconnected from the community. So you just saying that the Naruto thing happened to me, I was like, bro, why did that even happen? Like what? Like
I see it all the time. I choose to ignore. Jay he does not have that privilege.
That shit at all. This is the first time I'm hearing of this.
It's like me, like with me, I can't divorce myself from Tower of God fans. I have to be in there. I have to know what's going on.
You don't have a choice. I'm stuck, bro.
So,
I got no.
So when Bam is doing nonsense, and I'm just my head hurts, and there's like these are the regular. I'm like whatever, man. You guys got it. I'm not reading. I'm not reading. Right? It's me. I'm crazy. All right. So I get it.
You'll love.
I'll be mad. Yo, Tower of God fans be they be saying stuff, and I'm like, you like this is your argument? Doesn't make any sense. There's no logic here. Anyways, but yeah, that's a weird comparison. But the Yamato Kaido stuff was cool. I don't know. I don't dislike Yamato, but I'm not moved. I'm just not moved.
The Odin gimmick has to be dropped after the end of this arc for me to fully accept her.
Okay, fair.
Which I think it will.
All right. I really want to see Kid and Laws fight with Big Mom. Like I'm equally as invested in that. Like I want to see it go. Also, the Gold Hawkins, you know what I'm saying? He got Killer on a shirt right now. You know what I'm talking about? The magician, he's just out here doing his thing. You know what I'm talking about? Wada know me, not a big deal. Best supernova. You know what I'm talking about? You're. I guess if my one friend gets so bad, talking about Hawkins, like don't even start. he just goes, don't even start. Don't start. Don't start. Anytime I say Crocodile or Hawkins, he just says please don't start. If you know if it's Crocodile too, man, my cape on. My cape on, full of sand.
That joint flowing.
Yeah. But yeah, Pat, thoughts on the chapter though, for real. How do you, like, generally speaking?
My thoughts on the chapter?
Yeah.
I mean, it was good. You know, I enjoyed it. What you call it? Yamato backstory was cool. I couldn't put the name to the face when I was reading the chapter, but like afterwards, I was like, "Duh, that's Maru." So, you know, him
guess.
being
that was my guess, but there's one more chapter after that, isn't it? Or is that the last chapter? Actually,
that ain't the last chapter.
No, the last chapter isn't the Yamato backstory. The last chapter is when it's pretty much Luffy riding Momo through the entirety of Wano until you get to the roof. That's really the chapter.
Yo, when we on break, my mind be like separated from it until we come back.
Yeah, I feel like.
But yeah, you know, Momo riding through fucking to Onigashima is kind of funny. The nigga has his eyes closed the whole time. Like, nigga, what the fuck's wrong with you? Open your fucking eyes. But when Yamato fighting Kaido in the chapter was cool. Like I want to know more about like the mythical zone that she got.
The Makima.
Because yeah, like a lot of Japanese mythology is like coming into play with Wano right now, and like I'm kind of lost, but like I want to learn. Like I want to see the significance behind what's going on.
This is a good opportunity to piggyback on something I saw Jay say maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Because sometimes people will come to me about the story of Momotaro and the Act 1, Act 2. Unmoved. Don't care. I'm unmoved, bro.
Just get that shit out of my face. Get all that Japanese lore shit out of my face.
I just don't give a damn. I'm not saying it's not significant. It's just like I'm not the guy that's going to go into the lore that deeply at this point in my life to be like, don't you see? In the story, the pheasant in them. Okay, good for you. Thank you. Good for you. Good.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you care.
I'm happy you learned how to do research because a lot of you don't. Well done. I am unmoved by all of this. I honestly don't give a damn. I will look at it in hindsight, but for now,
I was just gonna say, you know me, like I'm not one of them niggas like, oh my gosh, you see, like, oh, they did this. You're such a genius. Da, da, da. No, it's just like one of those things where you see something in a medium long enough, you start to see recurring themes. And like, oh wait, I saw this and this, then I saw this and that. So like, what does this really mean? And then like you research it on yourself. You're like, oh, and then like you gain a better appreciation for somebody as a writer.
Like
So
like the
that's just
Yatsuno
the way I'm
Academy,
thinking.
like the mirror, right? That's
Yeah.
Academy, the three imperial regalias of Japan and stuff like that. Like you see it enough, they kind of carry over. It's not even that I don't have an understanding of it. It's just that like I'm not going that deep. People are like, when do you think this act's gonna end? I'm like, I never cared about the acts. I don't care still. I still don't give a damn. And what were you saying about like you said something that was so important that I was talking to somebody the other day because they like some of my friends now have gotten to a lot of anime and they just think I care and love anime in Japan. I don't give a fuck about Japan like that, bro. I just don't. I've never been there. I don't know. When I go there, I'll tell you how I feel about them. I know Japan is not anime. Listen, I like anime. It's cool. I fuck with it. I read some manga, bro. I'm not Japanese. Okay.
I'm not. Yeah. Don't tell me about Japanese lore. Don't tell me about. I don't care.
Don't
I never
tell me
have.
about in Japan if you're all right. Good for you. Good for them.
Hey, what do I
am from
always say?
Toronto.
Nigga, thank you. I'm about to say I live in America. I care about American things. I like anime and manga.
What do I always say? Anime was a fucking mistake. I enjoy it. It's cool. It's one of my favorite pastimes, if not my favorite pastime. Well, actually, no, I like sports more than anime. But fucking
I like slashing.
The way these niggas perceive anime and how it warps their personality and they turn it into their trait,
My
and then like it's the
personality is
only
loving
thing.
Japan,
Japanese
anime.
culture. I'm
It's
like,
a disease.
no, nigga. You are not Japanese. Please.
You need fucking sunlight.
It's a fucking disease. I think the Japanese language is really cool. I think they have a very nice lifestyle. Like the crime rate is low over there. It's an ideal place to live. But you niggas acting like anime is real life? No, cut that out.
That's what I'm saying. What's up, Nikki?
They don't even like niggas over there, bro. Fuck you, niggas.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Nikki.
He said they don't like niggas over there, Alan.
No, they don't. They don't like you.
They don't like niggas anywhere, bro.
Have you ever watched Slam Dunk?
That's
niggas
what
are hated worldwide.
I'm laughing because me and Pat are the same wavelength. Like niggas are not liked anywhere. That's where we at.
Like, bro, I'm not going no. Like, bro, I have a hard enough time here in America trying to make it as a nigga, bro. Like, come on.
So yeah. Oh shit, that's funny. But no, I wanted to say that because I thought that was a good point. Because like he's spitting, because that should be bothering me sometimes. When like they be talking to me, I'm like, you guys know that I just like, I read this stuff, I watch this stuff. My personality is not fabricated by the fact that I like One Piece or like anime and stuff. As a matter of fact, I will say this. The reason why I've read so much manga is because it was so easily accessible. I just go on a computer, I click on a site, and it's just at my fingertips.
Nigga, oh God.
Comic books, even though I could still do it to some degree, was still harder to do that for. But I love comic books more than I like manga. That's never, like I can say, there's probably a phase where I like manga more, but like comic books to me, I like a little bit more. When I say that, I mean like American and European, whatever you want to call it. They're my preference. They're my preference, personally speaking. Shit like Monstrous, East of West, stuff like that. Not playing with me, bro. And Kubera better than all that fucking manga y'all niggas be reading. On God it is. So.
Hey, soon. And don't fucking say I'll wait and see. It's gonna happen. God damn it. No, that shit that you said the other day in the group chat pissed me off. Talking about some niggas never play what I recommend. Oh, I got chopped liver or something.
Listen. That was for Corey. That was actually for nobody else. Alan be playing when I played. You be messing with when I mess with. That was for Corey. I'm like, Corey, you don't listen to nothing I say. Don't you tell me to play no fucking Yakuza. I don't give a fuck. I ain't playing Yakuza 1, 2, 0, Kiwami. None of them. Leave me alone. I'm playing shit.
Hey man, them games gas. I think you would enjoy it.
And I believe you. I'll never know that. When the Hollow Knight Silk Song comes, I'll be shaking my ass. That's what I'll be doing.
You are wildin', but I'm here for it. Wildin'.
All right, we're just talking shit now. So we go. Yeah, you have anything? Thank you for the sub. Yes. I feel like I got a lot of subs today. I did a good job. I did a good job today. I'm a good streamer now. I'm giving myself credit. As a matter of fact, yeah, I need to know what bots I need on this shit. I need to have Nightbot, and they'd be yelling at me that I don't have nothing on
You
it.
asking me? I still got this fucking Ray Shadow Legends bot still fucking chirping, nigga. I don't know what I'm doing either, nigga. I'm trying to figure that out.
I need help, bro. I don't know what I'm
Yeah.
doing. I don't know what I'm
I'll
doing.
figure so. I got you, bro. I got you. I'm gonna figure it out.
I just be like, oh, you don't understand. When I did a stream for a while, I had to figure out how to stream again on YouTube. I'm like, how do I do this again? Because I started the stream, it didn't work. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get the stream key. I got like, bro. I'm so. Anyways,
Stream is a drag, brother, but it's fun. It'd be fun.
I'll be laughing. Jay, do you rate every Berserk arc 10 out of 10? Try to see if you were fraud.
No, no, I don't.
Hey,
I like the
matter of
Golden
fact,
Age
what
arc.
you should have asked, what's the lowest rating that you have for a Berserk arc? That's a better question.
7 out of 10.
And One Piece,
Okay.
out of curiosity. Because for me, One Piece is 7. For Dressrosa, like, Dressrosa is 7.
Because
Because I do points. Like, I'll do 0.6. I'm that guy. I'm an extra.
There's no One Piece arc that I truly hated, really.
Fair enough. That's what I say. Dressrosa
yeah.
is at least fair to one comparatively. It's the same way I feel about Venturero. I like all 8 parts of JoJo. Comparatively, Golden wins my least favorite part. That's all.
I'd say 7 out of 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, you guys, hey.
Like I said, I like One Piece. I like One Piece. I just, I consider things like maybe Wano. Wano right now is like Wano's a 7. Right
Wano. If I highball my Wano mark, it's at 7.5.
Yeah, so Wano's a 7 right now.
I do think that's it's climbing in my heart of hearts because like I honestly think since the thousands we've been on an uptick for the most part. I should never say that. I believe that since the raid on the Onigashima has happened, I've been a lot more invested, personally speaking. Rooftop went crazy. My guy Hawkins, the scenario is here. The Hawkins scenario is here, people. They didn't listen to me. They thought I was crazy. That's it. That's probably all. That's probably all. They thought they wasn't listening. They thought I was crazy. But I really liked Kaido. I really like Kaido. He's my second favorite Yonko. Teaches the GOAT. But
yeah, as you should be.
That's the GOAT. It's my favorite.
Okay. See, I think I'm grasping it now. You guys are more. It's harder to get the top score out of you, but like, you guys don't give out low scores.
7 is probably the number I give most things. Like I cut you off. I always say like sometimes it's better for me to dislike something because at least it's memorable. A lot of things that I kind of give a 7 end up in this pile of like, yeah, that's cool, it's good, and mediocrity, and I don't even have any real opinion, good or bad. It's just like, yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Like Tokyo Ghoul to me,
because I give out a lot of good scores.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But that's only if they hit like a certain quota. Like most of the time, they hit the quota that I'm looking for.
Somebody used to say, "Bro, what do I have to do to get an 8?" Or what does someone have to do for you to give them an 8? I said, "Be great."
Yeah, be good, nigga. Damn.
No, good is 7. Be great. Great is an 8.
Yeah, bro.
See, 10 for me is never perfect. When I say at 10, I don't think anything on this planet is perfect. Not a bitch, not a game, not a book, not a series, not a character, whatever the case is. Now, I do think you can have a masterpiece of a character, or I will say this: if you have a series and the series' intended purpose is comedy, it's a comedy series, and I am Kiki, I can't stop laughing. You are fulfilling the story's intended purpose to make me laugh. You get a 10 for that. That's how I work. So that doesn't mean it's perfect. Because some people will take a romance series and be like, "There's no combat." Why the fuck are you looking for combat in a romance series? That doesn't mean some don't have that in there, but the fuck are you asking for? It's weird. So
it is what it is.
But a 10 for me is super duper rare. One Piece is one of the few. One Piece, Monogatari, Dirty Pairs, stuff like that. But
all that jazz, yeah.
All that goatness. All right, y'all. Any final comments? I'm about to wrap this up.
Yeah, Zorro was the best character in Thriller Bark.
Okay. It was definitely the old man who was wrapped in the bandages and had a bunch of injuries. I'm joking.
Screaming.
That shit was so funny.
We'll get this nigga out of here.
Townsy, my guy. I was playing Sonic Heroes today, man.
Big towns, big
The
towns.
mayor. Have I read Toriko before? Yes, actually.
Toriko is gas. Gas.
So,
Oh nah, I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready. I'm out. I'm out.
wait,
I'm
no,
out.
no, wait, hear me out. No, it's not actually.
No.
It's not. It's not. What I'm about to say is not. You might take it bad, but it's not bad in my opinion. Toriko is a 7 out of 10 for me because it never lied to me. That's one thing I always
That's
said.
fair.
I was never
I'll give you
mad
that.
about Toriko. It
I'll give
never
you that.
tried to trick me. It said
It never did. It
what
never
we about
did.
to do? We brolic as fuck. We throw hands and we eat good. What did they do? They was brolic as fuck. They threw hands and they ate good.
Good.
So
with you.
I'm not mad at them. But that dialogue be blowing me sometimes, bro. Talking about my calorie intake. I feel like a kid who's too big for the playground. My insatiable appetite. Shut up, my nigga. Shut up. Shut up. I can't take this shit seriously.
Naya is funny as hell, bro.
I can't take this shit seriously.
Naya has me screaming.
This nigga
Sometimes.
said hungry tongue. I eat the air too. I'm like, oh my god. All right.
Naya said,
Minority Role's a cool ability, by the way. Shout out to that guy. That's a raw ability. Very interesting.
Hey, all three
Tommy
of them
Road
niggas
getting
is
eaten by Satan
certified.
hair, crazy. Gourmet World stuff, Meteor Rain, stuff like that, all stuff was good. That shit with Bambina for some testicles, that dance was not it, fam. So basically what happened with Toriko at one point for me, Jay, I didn't want to hear anyone talk. If you weren't fighting, I didn't click the panel or read it.
Yeah, the way the way you consume series based on your investment level is so funny to me. Like Jay, listening to this nigga talk about Jujutsu Kaisen every week be having me in tears.
I don't be curious. You're not moving me, bro. Fuck Hikari. I'm not moved.
These niggas be coming on a TL with these thick pieces on JJK, and then here come Naya like, Hakari a nigga? He not a nigga? Mid.
I said he talk about my credit card. He's simping. Yeah, he's cooked. Simping ain't pippin'. I'm not here for it. Beta.
Oh man.
But Toriko was who's my favorite character in Toriko? Zebuda. I actually really like his introduction. What do you say, Jay? What?
I say he was raw.
Oh yeah, he's my favorite. The sound stuff was cool. I like how it was introduced. He ate 26 species of extinction. I don't know. That just sounds very impressive. This is very impressive to me. Like, but yeah. Honestly, I kind of laugh sometimes because I feel like I confuse a lot of people when they try to like grasp my taste, and I'm like, there's no one overlapping thing that you could put in any series. Like, actually, that's kind of a lie. If it's cyberpunk, I'm there. You don't have to say nothing else. You can be like, oh, this is cyberpunk, and I'm already watching, reading, playing. Offer it. Can't help myself. But yeah, because I'd be like, oh, but you like this character in this one, and this is like the same character. But I'm like, yeah, but it's not the same series, so fuck what you talking about. Because it used to confuse people. Because I'd be like, I hate Asta. He yells a lot and runs around a lot. Like Luffy does that. Okay, but that's not the same story. I like Luffy. It's not the same character. So I don't know. Sasuke does stink. That's a fact. But I'll catch up with JJK. I'll catch up again and see what's happening. Is Hikari's ability shown at all?
They didn't explain it, but I mean, it's unconventional.
Okay. But also, you have to understand with me, I'm a character guy. Characters are the things that move me the most in a series. Like, I'll sit through some mid for a character I like. I read 558 chapters of Inuyasha. That shit trash. I love Shishomaru. That shit trash. But Shishomaru, he's raw. So, that's how I am. So what happened with JJK is this unfortunate because it went the way of My Hero in a lot of ways, where it's like a lot of my favorite characters end up dying or being unimportant or losing their powers or something. Like when Mirio and All Might were like out the paint for basically My Hero, it's hard for me to care because I'm like, I hate this entire class. I hate all these niggas. They all bozos to me. You got this nigga shooting tape from his elbows, you're not raw. I'd rather have no powers and be able to do that. Just give me a gun. Just give me a gun, man. Like I'm not shooting tape from my elbows. I'm just not doing that. So, anyways, that JJK be on some math equation shit. I don't. Oh, they do math now. All right,
Something like that.
we out. You guys have yourselves some. Actually, no. I'm gonna wait till midnight. There's 2 minutes left. I'm gonna sit here.
Nigga think he Josuke.
I'm not pursuing.
the ending.
I'm not pursuing that.
Oh man.
My problem with My Hero is, why are the adults more interesting than the students? I actually agree with you. Like Endeavor
Yes.
and all, they're far more. I will say this, on a natural level, they have a lot more intrigue. I don't know how he would want to flesh them out, because give Horikoshi credit, he knows what he wants to do. He has a plan, but yeah.
And that kind of ties into what I was saying the other day with like protagonists. Like when protagonists are already old and adults, their stories tend to hit a lot harder when you go through their backstories and see what formed them into the way that they are now. It's more satisfying that way than seeing a protagonist becoming the ideal character at the end of the story, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that. And like, cause what happens with characters like this? Because like, it's one thing that people mistake when it comes to the idea of character development or character arc versus characterization. Where characterization for a character, for like a flashback like that, it shows you why the character is the way they are in present time. And a lot of older characters, they get that type of reveal where it's like, why is this guy so adamant about following the law? Why is the law so important to him? And then you learn why. Like, that's why he's like this. So yeah. So you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Like when I think of that, I think of niggas like Kenshiro or Kenshin or Gintoki. Like those characters, like they're already adults at the beginning of the series.
Old
And
dude
then
with the blick.
they're doing something.
Yeah.
Go
Luffy,
back
you
in
simple man
time,
like me, huh?
you see why they like that. It's raw.
Okay, I feel that. Who is my favorite One Piece character and why? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's talk about the greatness of the Desert King, the president of Baroque's work, Mr. Zero. Crocodile. You have to understand with me, like I'm not a new One Piece fan. I've been here for a long time, right? And first impressions matter a lot for me. Nigga, it's 12. Too late. Is it too late to cap it? The crocodile, the way he put down Luffy twice like that was something that I was very unaccustomed to at the time. I like how his powers were revealed. I think he has an incredibly good design. But the truth of the matter is, learning more about Crocodile's history in a vague fashion is what elevated his character to me. Because seeing him impaled down, I saw the... Because back then, how our translators used to be. So they put the K-U-A, the Kua. I'm like, no, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I seen the hook! And I'm like, bro, he's back. It's time. We're here. Baron! Sables! We're here! Like, he's the GOAT. I love his line with Luffy when he's like, yo, the word unfair is meaningless to pirates. You know what I'm saying? With the hook. He had the shank after the hook. I'm like, bro, he's such a GOAT. But learning with the fact that he's a silver medalist, a self-proclaimed, self-actualized loser who admits that he couldn't basically head-on confront the monsters in the New World. And then he ran back to Paradise to concoct a scheme that I argue would have made him virtually untouchable. Imagine if he somehow was able to get the battleship of Pluton in a desert kingdom with the military might that he would have had in a desert kingdom where it doesn't rain. I'm not saying he wouldn't lose. You couldn't stop him. But I would argue that a lot of people wouldn't be able to. But Crocodile has been my favorite character in One Piece since he beat Luffy the second time. And it never changed. Him and Robin are my favorite two characters, and they were introduced in the same arc. So take that as you will. Pat, you want to talk about your favorite character?
My favorite character?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. First off, I have to hold my hand out like the Wonder Twins, because I'm going to go first and then Jay going to go second. form of a Sanji stand.
No, he,
Listen.
I have to do it for you. He left. He's not here no more. I didn't think it in. He left.
Oh shit!
It's okay. I got you.
Damn,
I'll
I'm gonna
channel him.
have power again.
I'm here. I'm here.
Anyway, when this man Sanji was first introduced, this man came out there and he got fucking soup at the restaurant. Give it to the fucking bitch ass marine that was there. Made him look like a fool. Yeah.
Loser.
And then that nigga tried to fucking desecrate the food and he whooped his ass. I'm like, hold on. It's a ship full of cooks that beat niggas?
They beat up the Marines? What's going on here?
Like my interest was peaked already. I was like, that's kind of raw. Hold on. Mm-hmm. And then man, Don Creed came in there with Gin, and they over there begging for food. They kick Gin out. He over there. He give him some food. Like anybody that know me, food is a very serious thing to me. Because me being African, like I see firsthand
you and I
what it can
are
do.
both people who don't like to waste food at all. I don't like.
Yeah, you cannot waste. If you don't want to finish it, save it for later. Like don't be just throwing it out. I can't stand seeing that shit. I hate wasted food. Man came out there, gave Gin some food. This nigga was like, "Hey, you hungry? Eat up." I'm like, man, he's so cool. Luffy, you looking at him. And this is the thing I want people to understand here. Luffy is a person that don't think with his brain, he think with his stomach most of the time. But he's seen Sanji feed Gin, and he like, I found myself a good cook. Mm-hmm. He ain't even tried the food yet. He over here like, hey, he gotta be my cook. That's the one right there.
Yep.
And then like the whole backstory with him, with Zeph, which gets recontextualized later on with Whole Cake Island, and like how he felt like he owed it to Zeph to stay with Baratier to make up for taking away his career, but he didn't understand that was the wrong way to go about it because Zeph gave up his career so that Sanji could live his own life, like the bond that they share, and fucking when he fucking thanked Zeph for everything when he left, like man, talk about peak romanticism, like come on, man. Come on, man. And this was like before I got to like really start getting into my standing bag with him. Because then when I seen him in Alabasta, Mr. Prince.
Rain like, dinners, talk about it. Talk about the rain dinners. Talk about it. Let them know.
Listen.
They don't know nothing about that.
Jay was talking about anti-manner kit course. This man got the drop on Crocodile. Because before in Little Garden, he already like tricked him into thinking that the Straw Hats was done.
Not even the goat can shoot 100% from the field, but you know what I'm
saying. But he's like, "Hey, who this? Mr. Prince. Okay, Mr. Prince, where you at right now?" And Sanji like, "Now why would I tell you that? You just gonna come and kill me." Then he causes a distraction. He come through. He save all them niggas. Working behind the scenes. That was the first instance. Second instance, he working behind the scenes. We get to Water 7. Water 7. What he doing? Fucking Luffy, Zoro, Nami, they getting chased by the townsfolk. Sanji on his own. Robin about to leave on a sea train. He waiting there. He like, I know Robin on this sea train, but I don't know what the rest of them are doing. So what should I do? He take matters into his own hands. He go onto the sea train. Follow him. Nigga, get on there. Open the door, walk through all casual, like, these niggas just looking at him. Like, hey, wait a minute. This nigga not one of us. He's like, shit. I thought it was going to
work. He said, you know what? I tried a thing. I'm not mad at that.
And then when he fighting Wanzi,
I might just drop it, yo.
Hey, the streets need it.
The problem is I put it behind a milestone. I never hit it. Never hit the milestone yet. I just put it out though. Sorry.
Hey, life be happening. Life be happening.
Yeah.
But when fucking fighting Wanzi, he pick up the knives. all debonair and shit, chop, 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 beat him like a chef would, and then you talking about some might be a second rate chef, but at least he takes good care of his cooking utensils. I'm like, bro, he just got so much swag. Like, I don't understand. People be hating on him. Like, he's so cool.
I see. Like, I've always said this. Like, Sanji and Zoro grew on me together. Like, eventually, and I liked them both kind of equally. But my edge to Sanji always came that I think I liked Sanji from the get go. I didn't like Zoro until, honestly, am I being honest? When he beat the 100 bounty hunters at Whiskey Peak, that's when I started to like Zoro. Before that, I honestly didn't like him. I wasn't a fan. I can't say I hated him, but I didn't like him. He was one of my. I wasn't a Zoro fan by any stretch of the imagination. I always thought Sanji was like a little more of a character, but Zoro was just like the raw, the cool factor, though, you know. But I honestly thought his fight against, I don't know if it's the fight against Mihawk and the Nyan brothers. I don't know. I just wasn't that impressed. And then after but Whiskey Peak, I'm like, yeah, all right, no, this guy's different.
If we're honestly speaking objectively, like Sanji is a better written character. Like I don't even think that's a discussion. Who you like more? Yeah. Like who you like more is totally up to you. But like if you're looking at as a character, the way they're written, how they come down to their motivations, is going into their backstory, tying into their characters. Like Sanji is 110% the better written character. Like, come on now.
Yeah. And Nara, my guy. How goes it, man?
So I'm doing some botanist things right now. Trying to roll up real quick.
I feel it.
But me personally, I've been rocking with Sanji, bro, since nigga 4 kids, nigga.
4 kids,
nigga, like
lollipop.
I've been rocking, since the lollipop. He was from Brooklyn, bro. I've been rocking with gang ass forever, bro. Hey, like I remember it was one time. I think it was like One Piece Grand Battle for PS2.
Oh
bro.
shit!
Like
talk about
this man. I didn't even know it was Sanji because this nigga didn't even have a Brooklyn voice. I'm like, hold on, this nigga don't even sound the same. Who the fuck is this nigga voice acting this man? But recently, like, I'm like really into like physics and shit like that. So once I found out about the German shit with Sanji, that even like made me like him even more. Besides the Power Ranger shit,
that was a really good video.
Yes, sir.
What you say?
That was a good video.
Oh, appreciate you, fam.
Because I can't science like that though. So.
You can't, bro. That shit easy, bro. It's just step 1,
hey,
2.
Power Rangers raw.
Yeah,
no cap. But personally, what really made me like Sanji is like the fact that he fed Gang even though he was an enemy. Like growing up,
bro. Talk to them. Talk to these niggas.
Feel me? You don't got nothing to eat in your fridge, and then you got that one homie who feeds you, bro, just off the love. Come on now, bro.
Come on, man.
You gotta respect it, bro. So like at the end of the day, dog. Like, yeah, Zoro's cool. I acknowledge Zoro, but I would forever find him a chivalrous man, bro.
Is Sanji your favorite character too?
Of course, he's the GOAT.
Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
How do you guys feel about Sanji not hitting girls, and then Alan talk about your favorite character after, and then wrap it up. But
I mean, I understand when people talk about how in Eni's lobby, it almost cost them Robin because he didn't fight Khalifa. But you have to understand, like, this is who Sanji is. It's not some fucking half-baked belief. The stuff that he believes strongly in, he's willing to die for it. The person that he respects more than anything else in this world is Zeph. And Zeph told him that a man should never lay his hands on a woman. And especially when you get the backstory of how his actual biological father treated him, for him to have a surrogate father that treated him like he was the most precious thing in the world, is gonna stick with him for the rest of his life.
He also clearly
man said,
mother, you know,
exactly. And Jay said it in a stream like a couple months ago. The only people who showed him kindness when he was a kid were women. So you couple those two things together. His mom and Reiju showed him kindness, and Zeph told him that a man should never hit women. It's embedded in him. He cannot do it. He literally cannot do it, no matter what.
I actually like.
Bro, niggas told me that Sanji was tired of Sanji putting the crew in jeopardy over his weakness, unwillingness to hit women. I was like, nigga, what series are you reading, bro? Because nigga, nobody on the crew.
PEACE.
So my question
like,
is,
nobody on the crew looks looks at that shit as a main issue for them to like be completely worried about. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't get it.
Don't mind my French right here. But what use would Nami and Robin be if Sanji was beating up bitches?
Hey,
Like let's be 100 here. That's the reason why we even got the Robin fight because he couldn't beat the bitch up.
He is not wrong.
exactly.
That's the
Hey,
reason we got the
people,
Khalifa fight because he couldn't beat up no bitch.
exactly. People fail to understand. It also gives. I'm glad you said that. It gives the woman on the crew a purpose in battle. It's somebody that's a female opponent. Zorro over here, of course, he's gonna be fighting the number two. Sometimes the number three not gonna be around, so Sanji gonna be behind the scenes. That means that the women gonna have to get their feet wet, and they completely. I was so disappointed in the One Piece community. I mean, I shouldn't expected anything more, but like the recent chapters with Black Maria, they talk about some. Look at Sanji, worst Straw Hat begging for Robin to come help. Like, do you niggas not
They
understand? Like, this is
completely took the
I'm not
wrong
gonna
takeaway from that what?
I was hurt with that one too because I was reading. Oh, please, Robin, Lion, help me! I'm like, what the fuck is? I know you love her, but come on now, G. I can't do it without you. Jesus, I'm Jesus. You calling him too? I'm like, oh, okay, bro. I'm gonna just let you do your thing, bro. I understand what's going on here. It's okay. We'll take this little short L. Y'all can eat y'all steak. I eat my mac and cheese today. It's okay.
I eat my mac and cheese. But no, like that was the whole point of Whole Cake Island, for him to learn to trust the other Straw Hats when shit is going down, and not to feel like he has to protect them no matter what. That's why he called on Robin, like, "Hey, I can't hit a woman. Robin, fucking help me." And Robin did what? She thanked him for trusting in her.
She
And
popped
then
up like a
even like
roach.
going back to Enislavi when he couldn't fight Khalifa, he didn't ask Nami for help. He just got his ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? Nami came
Exactly.
down there and saw him in the beat up state and was like, "All
He
right,
hit
I'm gonna
him.
take over."
Baka! Chopper's like, yo, don't hit him. He's already wounded. Sorry. I remember like every stupid joke in One Piece. I don't know why. They're stuck in my head rent free.
Bro, when she was punching that nigga was like, I don't want to hurt a woman's fist, and my armament's weakening."
She looked up, she saw Khalifa, and he's like, did you really try? I'm gonna say this about that scene because I have to make a video on this because I have a problem with One Piece fans and the takeaway they get from scenes sometimes. I could understand because I don't get mad at the initial reaction because sometimes you just react how you react. You have a moment of contemplation and like, you know what? In hindsight, that wasn't a big deal. That happens to me sometimes too. I'm like, I thought about it for like 3 minutes. It's actually not that bad. This scene was so incredible to me because I'm like, does no one see that this is actually for Robin too? Think about how Robin has been treated her whole life and what she's been seen as, right? And the fact that this is the crew that very much saved her from that darkness and being a sin and being alone and feeling like a burden that no one cared about her, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, yo, you called upon me for me to come save you. As opposed to how it's usually supposed to be. Like, I was like, oh, that's my takeaway. That's why this is great. Because as far as I'm concerned, I know Sanji's not in. I know Sanji can beat her ass. And the fact that he was trying not to hockey up so he wouldn't hurt her with his. I'm like, come on, man. There are so many small things there to let you know what it really is, but people just want to agenda, propaganda, blah blah blah. So I understand, but Alan, I need to eat something, so we gotta wrap this up. Alan, talk about your favorite character.
Shit, my favorite character is Luffy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to be real.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? My man, he whoop ass, he take names, he beat ass, and he just go about his day. You know what I'm saying? He just want to just have fun.
Mm-hmm.
He want to protect his friends and shit. That's it.
Luffy,
Man, I can rock with that.
Luffy, I like a lot because Luffy is one of the few protagonists that I find myself always cheering to win. With the extent, I won't lie to you, I definitely was not cheering for him against Crocodile in that third round. Aside from that,
after the first 2 L's, you was like, okay, your time is done. You're like, I'm rooting for Crocodile now.
All I'm saying is, what's the record?
2-1.
2-1 Crocodiles. All I'm saying. That's all I'm talking about.
No. I'm gonna give him 2-2, bro.
No. Because people try this. Oh, he stopped him with the water at Marineford. Is that a fight?
Nah. I'm just gonna give him two. Once he punched him, Crocodile rethunk his decision. Like, you know what? I'm gonna be on your side this time, though, homie. I don't want to fight you right now.
Nah.
Help you save your brother.
Nah.
So, hey.
2-1.
I'll give that 2-2, gang.
2-1. You tried it, though. You tried it. 2-1. And someone was trying to say because you stopped him from attacking Whitebeard, like Whitebeard was in any danger, that counts as a W. Like, you guys are anyways. But now Luffy raw. I love that nigga. He's a man of action.
I like how his conviction just how he feels just when you do something for him, how willingly he is to do whatever it takes to repay that favor for you, and his to what he thinks is the best way to do it.
I would not fight this nigga. He's not okay. Like, bro, I used to make this joke all the time. I'm like, bro, Luffy's the type of nigga, like, you could just be walking, right? You step on that ant. The ant hurt or dead. Yo, Luffy befriended that ant the day before. He fed it some fucking syrup off the ground. You stepped on that ant and he coming to beat your ass. You don't even know what you did. You talk about some herrings. I'm like, what the fuck? Who just heard my name? He's like, you heard my friend. Like, what are you talking about? Like, some animal that I just hunted in the forest and ate some fucking shit he befriended. Like, bro, move from me, man. Luffy not normal, bro.
Notice a lot because I don't say it a lot, but like Luffy really my second favorite character in One Piece because it's like when this nigga is determined to fight somebody, his approach is unlike anything I ever seen. He always run out and call somebody name at the top of his lungs. Like, hey, yo, get out here right now and fight me. Like, who does that shit?
And half the time, he's not even calling you by your proper name. He calling you steering wheel, earlobes.
Wait, hold on. Let's get this out the way. Mingo has to be the rawest name Luffy has ever came up. Mingo! Wait a minute.
He's like, Mingo!
I know exactly who you talking about. Shit, I got to call him that nigga by his name. Shit. Fuck it.
Hey, my favorite one is always going to be my favorite. When that nigga was calling for Bellamy. Oh my God. I knew that nigga was cooked. That nigga said, Bellamy! All the niggas start shaking because they seen the post.
They said, talk about, oh, don't you know they faked it? But yeah. Catch these fucking defos.
They say, you asked me if I knew how to throw a punch? Oh.
This is the rawest nigga I've ever seen.
I fuck with Luffy, bro, but he's not even my favorite supernova, bro.
Oh, mine's Hawkins, but
mine's Apu.
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
Check her out.
The SoundCloud rapper?
Not the SoundCloud, nigga, man.
I'm just saying. Look how. Wait, listen. Hear my argument. He's not a SoundCloud rapper, okay? Because look how big Onigashima is, and look how big that his audience was. That's not no SoundCloud rapper number. My nigga rocking stadium.
That's a sold out show. That's Madison Square Garden.
That nigga was the opening act. You know, Queen was the main attraction. Come on now.
Nah, stop it.
I had high hopes for Apu, but they upset me with the fact that you could just plug your ears and ignore the music.
Turn it off.
That's it.
Don't stay ears.
I was so mad. I was so interested in seeing how he was gonna use auditory attacks in One Piece, but I digress. But
Bible Brook fight Apu. He don't even got ears, so it's like,
yeah.
Why the fuck would you fight that man?
It'll be some Dragon Ball shit. Like if you didn't have ears, like Krillin, you don't have a nose. Oh, I'm good.
Oh yeah, I don't smell that nigga who smell like balls in the ass. Oh yeah, I remember that sumo nigga. Then he like put his hand, like wipe his finger with his ass and try to touch Krillin with his
bacteria. Like, bro, ugh. Go take a shower.
That nigga was nasty, bro.
That nigga was a different breed.
That was a different Toriyama. Those gag Toriyama. So
I'm just saying that Dragon Ball was hidden back then. I'm just saying I'm not gonna
Dragon Ball is fine. It's once you hit the super that I gotta just pop the brakes. I gotta be like, hey, listen, man. There's definitely things in here that I like and had fun with, but no, cut it out.
Don't get me started on Alter Ego, but you know what I'm saying.
Hold on, Alter Ego kind of raw. I'm kidding. I
This nigga said-
I just like Vegeta. That's all. I like Vegeta.
That nigga
Bulma, Vegeta, and Trunks in that order are my three favorite characters. So
He's just a combination of Broly and Saint Seiya. I understand. It's cool. He get beat up, his Cosmo burn brighter. I understand. That's all right.
Watashi wa Hodono Cosmo yo Pegasus Ryuseiken Phoenix Haidai no Ogi Hoyoku Tesho. I fucking love that shit, man. I love that shit.
I was definitely getting in his bag though, no cap. But shit, I gotta get up out of here. I'm about to go slide to town.
All right, man.
All right, bro.
We'll talk.
I bet, gang. Shit, hit the line.
For sure. You have the roll now, so.
I bet.
All right. All right, guys. Stream's over. Goodbye.